I need another heavy. I've got TB and a quick draw.
I want to get fairly tight to it. Now, anybody who's going to be working range, I'm going to need you to fade right on this. And when anybody's running short, is going to stay towards the top of the caldera if we're going to come out.
I have you in the Griff. Griffin.
Sounds good. Well, that's the thing. We got to get to brawling range, so I may be moving us, right up to the hoop if we have to.
Wolverine nach Charlie 4.
It's fine, chill out, man. It's fine. It's just a 5-starter.
Komm, Leute, redet miteinander.
15 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't die.
Guys,
15 seconds, don't die.
Guys. 3, 2, 1.
Charlie Dar, CT, yellow. Okay, go get Charlie, see if we can get it.
There. To your left, is there? Sorry,
So, jetzt gleich hinter die Indie-Pocken,
Mediums be prepared to pull back E40 towards the E5 border. On my mark.
Left side, come on! Like now, I need strikes on OP barrel. Wire our strikes up.
Die Hauptgruppe rechts, Uferlinie.
They have 3 mechs sitting on the left side when you pass over.
Overheating is bad.
Both legs on the Griffin. Get the Griffin!
Oh yeah. Sorry about that. That was such a
That's right. I'm gonna spawn Lance, you guys in Charlie, Lance, you guys in Bravo. That's B2C1.
This third drop is 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults.
Jetzt in die Breite ziehen, zieht euch in die Breite.
Lights, watch our backs. We're gonna about base and take up position in Bravo 6.
Ja, kurz Aufschaltung Delta 4, 3 Stück, 2 Mediums einleiten, wie ich es richtig gesehen habe.
Make a firing line.
C4 Tactical Hill, boys.
Fox.
Laufe unter ECM, hab 2 durchlaufen, 10 Bravo 4.
And get ready to hit people coming from our right.
Charlie on the left. Charlie, a Hellbringer on the left.
Okay, let's group up towards the left. We're gonna press through Bravo 3 to Bravo 4. I think they're kind of spread out.
Check yourselves. Make sure you've got, UAV cool shot.
Here they come. They're pushing hard, guys.
Deco. Tez on.
Go. Oh, got a contact here, Bravo 3.
Nice, Marshall. I'm on Delta Griffin.
We'll get cross it then. Get in their face. They got a highlighter. They just push up on Theta. We need help on Theta. Up on Theta.
Yep, that's the noise. Go. Let's finish this.
Full pressure, guys. Full pressure. They're down low. They're down low in Charlie 3. Get the f***ing arm, Jackson.
Jackson, cool shot.
Golf. I got him.
Go, P3, go.
Echo, go.
Get over on your medium, guys. Get Echo Stormcrow.
God, I suck as a pilot, but thank I packed my skill.
I'm sorry that you died, sweet girls, but we will send a reasonably nice letter to your family.
salvage operation. This is forward 1. You're running out of time. Party camera is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gas as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online. Omega Left, we're getting cargo secured. As soon as we're able to lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. We're now tracking multiple targets inbound.
Got him on radar, Stroll. Moving to intercept.
Oh no! We're...
Okay guys, that's our last match of the season. Let's make this one count.
Wenn sie zu mir kommen, mich überraschen, ziehe ich sie zu euch und fertig.
Alles klar. Alright, so medium's Gamma, light's Theta, heavy's Kappa.
Roger.
Alright, here we go. Bravo Lance, Theta is yours. WK.
Roger.
Alright, can't see anything. Stacking up in Theta. I keep getting seismic.
Can you see them?
Yeah, they got heavies up here as well. Kill anything that moves.
Lights, just give us some scouting. That's probably the best thing for you guys.
Roger, moving to E4.
Here they come. What do you see? What do you see? 100 and Delta 4 on.
Alright guys, comms, got it.
Yep, prepare to fight, call target.
Pushing hard,
Pushing out, guys.
Here we go.
That big mix has moved up. That big mix has moved up.
Copy that, okay.
Wait for them to come to us.
Roll into them.
I'm rolling.
Rolling.
There's Max D3 coming from our right, guys.
Yeah, we got this. I want to call something, and I want to see it dead in seconds. Make it happen.
Okay, auf 3. 1, 2, 3. Go.
Guys, we need to get on top over here quick.
Tam kroki kefi už nám dure.
Keep going, let's go.
Go, go, go. Everybody in.
Got him.
Nice.
Talk crouch down.
That's all they can move, guys. Go now.
Bravo's leg.
Nice. Holy shit.
Yep, get out of there right now.
Take care of that Black Knight. Echinakinesis.
What's up? Kill him now, kill him now, kill him now. Push forward, guys, push forward.
Nice fucking job.
Just run. Stay alive and run.
Nice job, everyone. Well fucking played. That is how it is done.
Fuck yeah, man. Well done.
I can forgive you for shooting me in the back.
Alright, keep your eyes active, guys. Don't have scouts on this one, so we're gonna have to all scout.
I'll be there soon too. We've got mechs on the way. You guys got this.
Seems like a fucking ambulance 911 call.
We are headed into drop 2. 2 lights, 4 mediums, 2 heavies, 0 assaults on skirmish. Let's take a look.
We need to spread out a bit. We need to see where from they're coming, and then we will.
Alright, boys. Manly men. We're gonna take some fire. We're gonna put fire out. Just make sure you trade well.
Yeah.
So, wer stoppt, ändert Bewegungsrichtung, wer ändert Bewegungsrichtung?
Drehen. Schon zu weit.
Yeah, we need to go it now.
Yes. Keep it up, hold your ground. They have a lot of guys beat up CGs.
The light is peeking at us, Record 4.
Yep, you got one right here. We're doing alright, guys. We're up by 2. Stay cagey. 3 remaining. We got this one.
Alright, guys, let's do this.
Oh my fucking lord!
Foxtrot is grid CT.
Alright, lights going behind him,
Hey, Charlie, come on, guys, finish him.
Sideways up.
Prepare for rapid speed.
Stormcrow, Charlie.
Tir d'opportunité sur le couverture par l'ultra là.
Oh, and he got the kill.
And with the second shot, takes down Double with himself.
Derrière, bravo.
Dans les jambes toujours.
Like, go back.
Don't panic, just do it.
Yes! Yes!
It was a great match, back and forth, all sorts of stuff going on, incredible shots, things we've never seen before, and things you don't get to see.
Good job,
Yeah.
This is forward one. You're running out of time. Party gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU dance as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online. Omega left. We're getting cargo secure. As soon as we're ready to live, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. We're now tracking multiple targets inbound.
We've got him on radar, Joel. Moving to intercept.
Oh no! We're... meters altitude. Telemetry indicates input eject. Roger that, Control. We'll keep walking.
This is the query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead. Ejecting.
Roger, Control.
Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counted down to lift. Salvage operation. This is forward 1. You're running out of time. Party gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU dance as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online. Omega left. We're getting cargo secure. As soon as we're ready to live, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. We're now tracking multiple targets inbound.
We've got him on radar, Joel. Moving to intercept.
Oh no! We're... meters altitude. Telemetry indicates input eject.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep walking. This is the query. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead. Ejecting.
Roger, Control.
Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift.
All right, good evening, Mech Warriors. Welcome to yet another MRBC cast. This time, going from Div G to Div A. I'm RJ Bass, RJ Bass, RJ Fish, RJ Trout. What doesn't matter. And with me is our favorite rodent, Nutty Rat, once again. What's going on, Nutty?
Good evening, RJ, and good evening, everybody out there in MRBC land. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend, and I hope you're ready for some really great mech action tonight.
Hope I have your volume loud enough. Start this off, guys. If volumes need to be adjusted at all, please let us know. Make sure to tag either myself or Nutty Rat in the Twitch chat. That way it catches our attention faster, see it easier, that sort of thing. But tonight, Div A match, finally. I know people have been clamoring for one. And unfortunately, it's not Blackwatch versus Dropship 5. I think that's a match that we all would have loved to have seen. But it's 228 Swamp Foxes, the second best 228 team from North America. 228 Swamp Foxes versus 42. It is a Div A match. It's the only one I could wrangle up for us this week, so my apologies. Just when the other one was happening, the big one was happening, Nutty and I, we were playing our own match, you know. So all the big matches happen on Thursday nights. That's that Thursday night North America is when all the big that's when the majority of the MRBC matches happen. And so if you want to see those matches, we need more people to volunteer who maybe aren't playing an MRBC but no comp and can get on and cast some of those matches on Thursday nights. We need more casters. Definitely need more casters. Well, let's give you guys a quick rundown here of how MRBC works. I know most of you in chat already know all these rules, but just in case we have any people who are tuning in for the first time, Nutty, you want to go over some of the rules with the kids?
All right, let's start with the drop procedure. MRBC is an MRBC drop is actually made up of 5 different drops. The first drop of which is the reconnaissance drop. Let me actually, there we go, that's what I'm looking for. Pardon me, is the reconnaissance drop, and that's played on domination. The force is made up of 4 lights and 4 mediums. The restriction for that drop, for that first drop, is there's no lock-on weapons allowed. So no streaks, no ATMs, no LRMs. Drop 2, recon and force. A little bit more weight behind this drop, and it's also the first drop that switches over to conquest. And the force requirements for this drop is 2 lights, 4 mediums, and 2 heavies. The third drop, my favorite, Commander Assassination. It is another conquest match, and it has the addition of having a commander mech in the field. This season, MRBC has opted to make the commander mech one of 3 mechs, either the King Crab, the Atlas, or the Direwolf. And then you have 3 mediums and 4 heavies backing up that commander mech. Drop 4, flank engagement. Another conquest match. Force requirements for this one is, I would say, what a lot of people would think that MRBC would be, which is 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults. And then the final drop of the night, drop 5, center of battle, another conquest match. That's 2 lights, 2 heavies, and 4 assaults.
Real quick, I want to address this. Of course, you won't see it for another 5 minutes, but this is particularly for Odin and everybody who has their shot glass in their hand. Panic Button is my hero. Canyon Network in Worlds 2016 was a bitch and a half. Our game last week was pretty rough, but we did very well. I can't remember who we played, though. You remember? I can't remember. So. All right, drink up, people. All right, moving on.
So let's talk about the rep rewards.
Yeah, let's talk about
reps.
Let's talk about reps. I gotta put those up on the screen right now. All right. For those of you who might be new to MRBC, MRBC is scored based off of rep points. You earn so many rep points per match depending on how well you do. For example, you get 300 rep points for winning a drop, regardless of the amount of mechs destroyed. If you're the losing team for the drop, you get 25 rep points for each enemy mech that you destroy. And then each round has a set amount of bonus points, 50 bonus points that are achieved by or that are had by achieving certain objectives within the drop. For example, in drops 1 and 2, if you destroy 5 enemy mechs, you get 50 extra bonus points for each of those drops. In round 3, if you keep your commander mech alive while killing the enemy commander mech, you get the 50 points. In drop 4, if you kill all of the enemy heavy and assault mechs, you get the 50 point bonus for that. And in drop 5, if you kill all of the enemy assault mechs, you get the 50 bonus points for that. And then on top of all of that, after the match is said and done, a team can still earn up to 50 more additional rep points if they upload an individual video for each drop of the match. And you can see the rep points there. The rep points are reflected in the score screen in the banner right there, right underneath the team names. So not only will you see how many drops each team won, but you also see the current calculated rep points minus uploaded videos and any potential penalties occurred. How can a penalty be occurred, Nutty?
Well, there's a few different ways. Really the main penalty is if you bring in an illegal mech. The way that MRBC works, it is intended to be used with mechs that are available only for C-bills. It's the quote-unquote pay-to-win aspect has been removed from the equation. So if you are unable to purchase a mech or its direct variant, a direct comparable variant for C-bills, then you cannot bring it. So champion mechs are generally allowed. Things like gold mechs, invasion mechs, etc. are allowed because those mechs have a direct C-bill variant. However, loyalty mechs from 2017 are not legal, and hero mechs are not legal. Also,
no heroes.
Pardon me?
I said no hero mechs too. The mech, basically, the way it works is the mech. I think, and I'm pretty sure you said this. The mech has to be available for C-bills before the first match is played in MRBC. Is typically how it works. You can't get it for C-bills before the first week's matches are played, then it's not allowed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we miss anything there in the rules?
I think that is it. So let's talk about the maps that we're going to be playing in tonight. Okay. We talked about the drops themselves, but let's go ahead and talk about the maps. And I do apologize if you hear any background noise. Very hot in my apartment right now. So I have all the doors open, so you're probably going to hear birds chirping and maybe the SkyTrain going over because I'm right beside the SkyTrain. Anyways, let's look at the drops. This is week 4. So it is actually a repeat of week 1. So you got Rubalite as the first drop. That will be the domination map. That will be the recon, 4 lights, 4 mediums. Drop 2, Terra Therma. Difficult map to play, as we've learned quite a bit, at least in the lower divisions where we struggled with it. Drop 3, Caustic Valley. That is going to be the Commander Assassination drop. Drop 4, Tourmaline Desert. Everybody, of course, is probably one of the 2 maps that is played ad nauseum between Tourmaline and Canyon Network. And then final drop 5 is River City. So you have hot, 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 and then not so hot.
Yeah. Hot, not so hot. That's a good way to say that. Not so hot.
Yeah, because it's not cold. It's just heat neutral.
I tried to put up the pictures and GIFs for all those maps as you're going through them, but you went through so fast.
I'm sorry. There's not much I can talk about the map other than the fact that there's maps.
Yeah. We play on maps, guys. This game, we play on maps. Who would have thought?
Exactly.
All right, we are currently about 15 minutes away from drop time. Remember, guys, we are on a 5-minute delay. This is a rule that was implemented years ago in MRBC to help curb stream sniping. So if there is a problem or anything, keep in mind that it's going to be at least 5 minutes before we address it. Or, yeah, if you notice a problem and flag us on it, it's going to be at least 5 minutes before we address it. And everything that happens in the game is really from the past, 5 minutes ago.
That's right. We are from the future. We are in the future, depending on how you look at it.
All right, let's talk about teams, shall we?
Absolutely. So, is it team? Let me look at team.
Yeah,
one
it's
here.
team 1 is 228.
Team 1's 228.
Yeah,
228 Swamp Foxes, which it's actually really cool to see them here. RJ, what can we say? I mean, so RJ, of course, is the leader of 228 Death from Above. I'm with Cranky Hill Canadians, but I'm actually a stand-in for 228 Death from Above. So it's we kind of know this team quite intimately because we've scrimmed against them quite a bit.
I actually used to lead this team. Actually, MRBC seasons 8 and 9, I was the leader of 228 Swamp Foxes. So the majority, well, no, I shouldn't say the majority. Several of these players on the team I know very well. In fact, let's see, Dark Light, Nita Pickle, and Sherrod. Wow. Okay, never mind. 3 of these players were on my team when I was leading the Swamp Foxes. Most of these other players, say Dom, Draven, Iron Kilo, Night Fox, they were all former 228 Death from Above members from the last season of MRBC. The Dr. Killer is former 228 Blackwatch. He came down to help out the Swamp Foxes for this season. Moreland, Brad to the Bone, and Odin Steele, they were new pickups. Shouldn't say they're not totally new, but they were pickups for the Swamp Foxes after the last season of MRBC. I think they all played with them for Worlds, if I'm not mistaken. But all the same, there's some very notable players on this team, especially in Dark Light, Dr. Killer, and Sherrod. If I was to... I think people wanted me... What they want me to do? They wanted me to do their carry ranking.
Yeah, average carry power, I think.
Carry power for this team. I would give Dark Light, Dr. Killer, and Sherrod a carry power of 10. Easy. Going down the list, let's see... Dom, I'll put at an 8. Draven, I'll put at an 8. Iron Kilo, nobody likes him. We'll give him a 1. Night Fox, he's a light pilot, 7 or 6. Moreland, 6, 7, somewhere in there. Need a pickle. He's a pickle. He's 1. Odin Steele, I don't know too well. I'd probably put him somewhere around 6 or 7 as well. But no, Iron and Nita are both also really good players. Carry power for the team. I mean, they're all these players are actually really, really good. I know them all. I drop with them all pretty regularly. Nita Pickle, of course, is a pretty popular MWO streamer. So it's a really good team that they have this season. And in all honesty, much better than the Swamp Foxes team I led during seasons 8 and 9, hands down.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see what Iron Kill is going to be able to do to lead the team tonight. It's been a tough go for the Swamp Foxes. Looking at the match results from the previous matches, they went one drop to 4 for Dropship 5 in their first match, and unfortunately they were taken by Ice and Grim 5-0 for Ice and Grim. So this will be the third drop for them. So we'll see what happens tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look at 42, the answer here.
Sure, give me a second here. Pull that up. All right, looking at 42 right now.
All right, so looking at this team, this is one of the teams that you and I casted, actually. I think.
Yeah, against Dropship 5.
It was against. It was against Dropship 5. Okay.
Yeah. Yep, it was Dropship 5, and I don't really remember much of that match except for the Canyon Network side of it. And of course, okay, get your shot glasses ready, because Canyon Network, of course, being the map that we played over and over and over again in Worlds 2016, and I really expected 42 and Dropship 5 to do something different than what they did. 42 started off really in the right positions, but then all migrated to one little position while Dropship 5 basically pushed right into him and wrecked him. So what's that worth? One shot? Was that one shot, Nutty? For mentioning World 2016?
Yeah. I mean, that's according to these drinking games. Yeah, people are going to be probably on the floor in about 10 minutes.
So, but yeah, they got some notable players on the team, no doubt. One team or one member of that team in particular should stand out to most everybody. Bandit B17, carry power 1.
RJ, you're never going to hear the end of that.
Oh, I know.
That, right?
As soon as we go to the after-match interviews, Iron's going to feed me a good one. I'm sure of it. Now, the Bandit, you know, he's the MWO caster. Everybody loves to love. He was the caster for Worlds 2016 and Worlds 2017. He basically got MRBC casting off of the ground and started doing, you know, he created the overlays. In fact, the overlay that I use was originally created by Bandit, and I think he gave it to me back during the start of season 8. So it was good to see him coming back into the game. Other notable players on there. I mean, there's quite a lot on this list too. You got Oatmeal, Harad, Kesmai, Lurch, Subwoofer, Tolson, Vidya Games and War Gnome are just a couple of the names that immediately stick out to me on this team. As we saw in their match against Dropship 5, I think it's really just a matter of their positioning, and well, it's one of the things that failed them in their match that we cast against Dropship 5. But really, really good players, all well-seasoned, long-time players. I mean, in fact, if we look at their overall history in MRBC, we can see that they've been at it since Season 4. They skipped Season 9. But they started off, I mean, they're kind of one of the Cinderella stories of MRBC. They started all the way back in Season 4 in Division D. Took first place in that. Back then, MRBC, that was the lowest division. There was no E, F, and G. Division D was as low as it got. And then you can see they slowly progressed their way up. Division C, in Season 5, they took second place. And in Season 6, Division B, they took third. Again, Season 7, Division B, they took second, and then they got moved up to Division A, where they came in 5th place for Season 8. And like I said, took Season 9 off, but they're back in Season 10 in Division A. What they do for the last few matches?
Unfortunately, they've been having a really tough go. They've played 3 matches so far, and unfortunately, they haven't been able to find a drop. So they were 0-5 versus Dropship 5, 0-5 versus Blackwatch, and 0-5 versus Smoke Adders. So they hopefully they're able to turn it around tonight, and maybe eke in a couple of drop wins there, and who knows, maybe surprise us. And you know, it's tough to play MRBC generally. I can't imagine what it's like to play in Division A. We're definitely going to see that tonight. Looks like about 6 minutes or so. Looking at the time here. We're at 5:54 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or Pacific Daylight Time.
I'm not really gonna give out carry powers for 42 just because I don't know them the same way that I know the 228 Swamp Foxes, and carry powers I gave out for 228 Swamp Foxes, most of that's just screwing around.
Yeah, for sure. You don't want to. Yeah. No. Good luck to Dropship. Good luck to 42. Certainly hope they do well tonight. We'll take a look. We'll be able to check this out very soon, actually. But yeah, looking at their roster, I mean, like you're mentioning, RJ, very capable players, people you don't want to play against when you run to them in quick play or in group play. So we'll see what happens tonight.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good match. I mean, if we look at, I'm gonna go back to take a look at the division standings for these guys. And I'll get all this stuff pulled up. As you can see, while it is a Div A match, both of these teams are currently sitting pretty low in the division right now. And that's not to say anything bad against these teams. They're both really, really good teams. But, I mean, you're in the same division as the Blackwatch and Dropship 5. I mean, and if you guys all watched the videos from that match, I mean, they had to play a 6th game as a tiebreaker. Those are both incredibly tough teams. Ice and Grim, obviously, they're no slouch this season. The Smoke Adders, 373rd, they're also a really, really good team. So, I mean, this is, without a doubt, the hardest division to play in all of MRBC in all regions. I mean, you got a couple of other really good teams out there in the other regions, but you don't have a division stacked like North America Div A is. And so to even be playing against these other teams, to even take a drop against any of these other teams, is a really tough thing to do. And I know the Swamp Fox's single drop that they won came from Dropship 5. They were able to snag a drop there. And from what Iron was telling me, they almost got 2 drops from Dropship 5. So the Swamp Foxes are a really, really good team. Just happen to be in a really, really tough division. Same with 42. Also a very good team. Just in an extremely tough division. But considering that this is only the Swamp, I mean, if you look, Dropship 5 currently has 4 games in the books. They played Blackwatch this week. We got Panic and Queen and Defunct all watching for Blackwatch. All you people in the Blackwatch, you have those officer tags, yet none of you can fill out your score sheet for MRBC. I give them crap for this all the time. Because we know the Blackwatch has played 4 drops. They're just not showing on there yet. It's just
Panic, you have one job. One job.
Actually, I think that's Chrisman's job, if I'm not mistaken. So we might have to direct that towards Chrisman. I don't know. I don't pay attention to their inner team jobs. But
sure.
But that being said, though, I mean, if the rest of the scores are correct, the Swamp Foxes are only showing as having 2 games played, and I actually confirmed that with them today. This is actually only going to be the 3rd game that they've played this season. Their drop from week 3 got postponed. So while they're showing a little low on rep points right now, we're going to start to see that come up, especially as some of these. Oh wait, you know what? Blackwatch is correct. I'm an idiot. Because their match with Isengrim got postponed. They really have only played 3 matches. Yeah, I forgot about that. So
yeah, their match got postponed to way later.
I'll just stick my foot in my mouth now.
Take a drink.
Yeah, take a drink. I got a little bit of my Jameson left here. I might have to start hitting that here before we get to the interviews.
Uh-oh. All right. Let's not get that far, but it is going to be an exciting matchup tonight. We're 2 minutes away, I think. Are we?
Yeah, I should probably start inviting some of these teams in here. Let's see. Swamp Foxes are Team 1. That'll be easy to invite. Let's see. Iron Kilo's got the group. So we'll get them into the lobby first, and then we'll work on getting... Oh, Tolson sent me a message. Yep, so Tolson will be getting the 2nd invite. Tolson says they are ready whenever. They are feeling prompt tonight. This is going to be a good match, guys. I'm actually pretty excited to see this one. I do have a little bit of bias for 228 teams. Obviously, I've been a member of the 228 for, that'll be 3 years this fall. So, you know, I do have a little bit of bias there, but I'll try to keep it fair and even amongst both the teams. I just, forgive me in advance if I do tend to get a little excited when Swamp Foxes are doing well here. It's my former team. These are all my friends. So obviously I want them to achieve great things in the game, but I'll try to keep it as fair as possible. Nutty will have to be my I don't know what you call that, my babysitter on that one.
I'm a dirty mercenary. I keep myself pretty damn impartial, so it's we'll be fine, folks. It'll be great. I'm sure the Swamp Foxes will do well, and I'm sure that 42 will do well as well. Regardless of the outcome, I know the matches that we've been able to cast all across the board from all the other divisions that we've cast, the matches have all been good. The player base has all been fantastic. We haven't been able to do after match interviews for all of them, but when we have done them, you know, again, everyone's just it's smiles all around, as well as at least they project smiles all around.
Those matches last night, Nutty. Wow, we saw some things last night. we saw some things last night. The match cast is currently available at mrbcleague.com. It was a Division G match between Orb and First Crucis Recon Father Bill's team.
Yeah, there's a reason why I wore this shirt. It's not because I went to MechCon 2016, because I didn't. Because this is homage to one of the mechs that showed up last night that RJ and I were so shocked by it that we were just like, what the hell is that? Like, what I actually said, is that a rifleman? It's like, no, it's not. I actually had to look it up because I wasn't thinking of a roughneck.
Yeah, it was weird. I had yet to see a roughneck in comp play this season, and when we saw the leather designation, I was like, what the heck is that?
Is that a legal mech?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
That question did come up, but yeah, like the match last night, Orb versus 1CR was absolutely fantastic. RJ and I casted the first match for 1CR. That was our week one cast, and you know, between that week and last night, you know, we saw a very different team from 1CR, and they're way better coordinated. Their mech builds were complementary. They were moving together. They mentioned in the interview that they weren't really practicing, but they were dropping together, and it really showed that they were dropping a lot together because, you know, they really capitalized on their communication and on their movement. And I will say a clutch move from Father Bill that was like the play of the match last night. That javelin play. I don't know if you guys know who Snuggles Time is. Most people do, but he had this video talking about how to like a suicide strat with a light mech as a squirrel, and he demonstrated it on Tourmaline, and we watched it again because Father Bill took his javelin right into the middle of orbs, squirreled the team, and gave the rest of the 1CR folks back shots for days.
Yeah, and it ended up being a trade. 1CR's javelin for an Orbs night gyre. I still don't know how to say that one. Whatever. But that was the trade for it, and it was certainly a good trade.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got 42 on the lobby. We're just trying to figure out where the Swamp Foxes are.
Late to their own party, are they?
Oh, they just now got the part where I was giving Blackwatch grief for not doing their paperwork. I corrected myself, Panic. Oh, you probably already heard that too. It's all 5 minutes in the past.
I got it.
Okay, thanks. Apparently I'm fake news now.
Yeah. You're not just fake news, RJ. You are hashtag fake news.
Yeah. Well, that's nothing new. Come on.
But last night's drop, we did see a lot of interesting things. We saw a win on domination by Cap instead of by kills. We saw the Roughneck show up. The first sighting of the Roughneck was in Caustic Valley on drop 3. And then the other one that we saw, and I mean, this wasn't the first time we saw it. We saw it with the match we cast with Bowser, bringing out ATMs on a Night Gyre. But Orb brought out a Mad Cat 4, Mad Cat Mark II 4 with ATMs, with an ATM 6 and two ATM 9s or something like that, or 3 ATM 9s. Pardon me. So, and the Roughneck, by the way, this guy right here had rocket launchers.
Yeah, rocket launchers.
And when you think that you think that these are kind of weapon systems that you wouldn't see. Those two mechs on either side, the Roughneck on the 1CR side, the Mad Cat with the ATMs on the Orb side, top damage. On both sides, top damage. It was an impressive sight to see.
Now I argued that it was probably spread damage, but still, it was a massive amount of damage for an 8v8 MRBC match.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So you're just getting Swamp Foxes into the lobby there, RJ?
I've invited them. I've invited them multiple times, and I just put out a message on the Twitch chat saying somebody from 228 go to the 228 TS and tell Iron to take the lobby invite. I'm gonna invite him a third time here.
Iron, wake up, Iron.
Oh, there they are.
There we go.
They have 7 people.
They have 7. Are they playing one down?
It's possible. Sunday night's not exactly a big night for 228 players. It could be very possible. Got something here.
I know Pickle was streaming earlier. Did he?
No, he was in their TS channel when I was in there earlier. Oh, we'll see. They do have to set their lances first, so we'll see that here momentarily. They'll probably get somebody else invited, or oh, maybe they will play with 7. They can certainly choose to do that.
Yep, it counts as a kill, doesn't it? If my reading of the rules are correct.
I don't know. Yeah, let's pull that up.
Let me pull that up for you. We got this nice little rule reference. Drop procedure.
Oh, there he is. Nita Pickle is in.
There we go.
Probably to tell him to take the lerms off of his light mech. All right.
That's right. Are we gonna see like 8-person lerm drops here?
I don't think so.
I'm totally kidding. Come on.
42 needs to grab their first drop win of the season. 228 definitely wants to grab at least another one. That's why I think this match tonight is actually going to be really, really good. It's Div A. We're going to see the advanced tactics that Div A players use, and then we're going to see two teams that I believe are actually pretty evenly matched. So I think this is going to be a really good match, and I'm hoping it's a really good match tonight. You know, we like the close matches over the blowouts. Of course, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't want to see the 228 Swamp Foxes totally blow out 42, but excitement-wise, amongst the viewers, we'd like the close matches better.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I'm sure we'll see some great matchups tonight. They're just getting all set up for Drop 1, Rubelite, Oasis, Domination. Again, 4 lights, 4 mediums. We'll see what happens. The lances are just getting set right now, and then we'll get this drop underway. And good luck to both 42 and to the 228. I hope we see some good matches tonight.
42 is setting their lances now. 228 is locked. There's probably people wondering why I don't show the lobby, and that's actually something that Bandit taught. Silken is going to be dead drunk by the time this match. If he's actually taking shots for all of this, I think Silken should do a cast.
Yeah, I just amended the drinking rule. If I say anything, finish the bottle.
All right, we are launching Drop 1, Rubelite Oasis. Domination game mode. 4 lights, 4 mediums, 0 heavies, 0 salts. Why is... Okay, there it is. Okay, why is the game not coming up?
Maybe you're having problems with your Google Fiber.
Shut up. That should be another rule. If I mention Google Fiber, you should take a shot.
There you go. There you go.
We should have game audio on this time.
Or Kansas City barbecue. Or...
Shut up. I'm gonna get you to Kansas City one of these days, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my God!" Now I see why he talks about it so much.
Oh, I'm sure I'm pretty sure I'll make it out there one day.
All right, 228 is coming in now. Actually, both teams are. The 228 brought a Mislinks, a Bushwhacker, an Assassin 21, a Hunchback 2C, an Arctic Cheetah Prime, a Wolfhound 2, a Nova Prime, and another Mislinks. So 2 Mislinks Gs for the 228.
All right, looking at 42, the answer, we've got a Hunchback 2C, a Bushwhacker, Mislinks G, an Urban Mech. The power of the Urby coming out once again. Wolfhound 2, Hunchback 4H, so not a duplicate, but they do have another Hunchback 2C, so 3 Hunchbacks, 2 from Clan, 1 from Intersphere, and a Commando. And while the teams are setting up, know that is legal. You can have a duplicate IS mech and a single clan mech from the same thing, or vice versa, because they're not the same chassis.
Hey, 42 getting into the circle early, got a 4-second lead on that. That's gonna force the 228 to have to do something if they were to stay in these standoff positions the whole time. Of course, Drop 1 is known as the brawl drop. Everybody gets to the circle and dukes it out. 42 looks like they have some slow mechs, though, still working their way up to the circle there.
Yeah, definitely taking their time. You can see Bandit and the Mislinks is up on top in Fox 5, just trying to get some sight lines to figure out where they are. You see some long-range trading happening. 42 shooting down at, let me see who they're shooting down at, Nita Pickle and Darklight. Meanwhile, the rest of the 228 team, they are sitting up in Delta 6 area, just using the terrain for cover, peeking wherever they can. Trading a little bit there, and looks like 228 sent out a strike, but didn't find anybody. War Gnome and that commander did pull back in time to miss that strike completely.
And 42 taking a nice overwatch position in that back alleyway. I wish I knew what the grid coordinates were of that, but I wonder if they brought wonder what's in this hunchback right here. LB2s and Ultra AC2s, so a little bit of range there with that hunchback 2C. The hunchback 4H.
That 4H, that hunchback 4H, that's a heavy Gauss and 3 ER medium lasers. That thing is gonna hit you hard.
Yeah, it is. Okay, still that 4-second lead. No team really making a push to do anything here. Very similar to how we saw the last night's match start. Got some medium lasers flying across. Of course, this match not known for its long-range mechs. Or this drop, I should say.
Yeah, not much damage to talk about right now, except for 2 mechs on the 42 side have taken a little bit of damage, 96% and 94% respectively. Oh, Strike goes out from 42, getting Herod, or from 228 rather, hitting Herod in that hunchback. Herod.
SHERR.
No, Herod.
On the okay.
42 side.
Oh, because I saw a Strike over here at the 228 side too, and I was like,
ah. Yeah, 228 sends out another strike towards video games, but he did dodge that one quite effectively, so no damage there. Strike, it's basically a strike battle right now. They're staring at each other. Who's going to move in first?
Well, it's going to have to be 228 because if it stays like this, 42 wins the drop. They have the 4-second lead. They will win the drop if it was just to stay exactly like this. So 228's going to have to do something here. They were just a little slow getting their mechs to the circle. It's going to have forced them to have to do something they probably don't want to do.
Yeah, 42 taking their time. They're set up where they want to be. They have the range. They're not set up. They're not really set up for a short range brawl, but they can do it if needs be. 228 on the other hand, they're at a range disadvantage here, and it looks like they're going to make a movement.
Yeah, I got a lance of 228 guys. Make that more than a lance. A couple guys straggling behind. Looks like they're going to try to maybe move in, get a little bit closer to 42 here.
Yeah, you can see the 2 Mistlinks, the Assassin and the Wolfhound, are working their way around. Sherrod and the Arctic Cheetah is trying to get caught up as well. There's 5 mechs that they're committing to this flank maneuver. Dom in the Nova Prime is down there, but doesn't look like he's gonna advance. Sherrod and the Arctic Cheetah does pull back. Meanwhile, 228, they go wide. They're over in Fox 7 right now, and they are looking to take the long way around.
I'm trying to see if 42 knows what's going on here by their movement, and it looks like, yeah, they're sliding over to their right a little bit. Looks like they have an idea of what 228 is doing.
And there we go, some shots traded there from the little flanking lance. 42 taking damage, 228 not sitting fairly good. Darklight has taken a bit of damage in that Hunchback 2C though.
They lost the circle a little bit more too. 42's now down to only 34 seconds left on the clock.
That strike from 228 was really well placed. Tolson down to 85% as Bushwhacker. Video games 80%, but not doing too well. We look at his mech here for a second. It looks like he's cored in the left torso. He still has his LB2s and Ultra 2s, but you know, that mech definitely has definitely gonna have some problems here. Herod 68% rather than that Hunchback 4H with the heavy Gauss. Not really effective at this range. Video games taking a hit, got cut in half down to 1 LB2 and 1.
And it looks like 42's pushing forward against the lance of 228 guys. This could be really bad for 228 because if they push with their full team, that lance of 228 guys are going to be quickly outnumbered.
Yeah, 42 had to push across the open ground, but the other side of 228's force wasn't ready for this. But 228 jumps down, and they're focusing Herod quite effectively here, getting down to 52%.
Yep, the battle is happening, but 228 is severely undermanned right here. Too many mechs providing overwatch in the backfield.
But despite that, 228 takes the first kill. Herod going down to Iron Kilo. Tolson's going to be next up, 48% in this Bushwhacker.
The rest of the 228's coming, trying to push up a little bit. Oh, Vidya Games just went down. Whoa, okay then. And Pickle takes out Tolson. This
was a bold move by 228.
And it's working. So far, Dr. Killer, the only one dropping for 228. I would not have expected this. Lurch just killed himself. Looks like War Gnome is getting ready to die next. They got several 228 mechs focusing him. A couple of the 42 guys have gotten to the backfield.
Yeah, Dr. Killer did go down, so they're not good. So 228 isn't going to take this with a anything. We see Prometheus in the Hunchback. Hunchback 2C, what does this one have? This one's looking another AC build. Yeah, another AC build Hunchback. He's just hitting them at range, trying to wear one of them down. But 228's going to charge in. Iron Kilo's down to 43%. Dom takes down Subwoofer. And Sherrod comes down towards Prometheus. Dom taking out Prometheus, but War Gnome.
Yeah, War Gnome's last one standing. He's legged and he's down. Wow! Oh my gosh, that was actually really cool. When I saw them pushing on that lance of 228 guys, I thought that they were just gonna be flattened because they were so undermanned. But the Overwatch that I was talking about did their job, and 228 focused their fire, and wow, that was amazing.
Yeah, I don't think 42 realized how many 228 mechs were over there. I suspect that they thought that there was one or two spotters trying to look for the team, and that's why they pushed in. And in the end, they got surprised when those mechs moved in. I mean, you had an assassin, you had a wolfhound, both of which are fairly tanky mechs and can take a lot of and can bring a lot of firepower to bear. And then you also had, I think both Mistlinks were committed as well.
Yeah.
And those mechs, I mean, they're small, they move really fast, so they're harder to hit. And just the amount of machine gun fire that you have there, all they're doing is they're waiting and looking for back shots. If we take a look at the damage numbers, you can see that 228 Dark Light definitely did the most damage that round with 595 damage. But no
Carry
kills,
power
though.
10.
Carry power 10 indeed. Dom though, and that Nova Prime, 379 damage, 4 kills, 4 assists. My goodness, that was a really ballsy move, I'll say, by 228 to do that. 42 kind of had an interesting position. It wasn't bad, but the problem is when they pushed, they kind of abandoned that and went across open ground and just got into an area that we've been on. We've in scrims and even in pug matches, we've kind of pushed into that area before, and every time we've done that, it always turned out bad for us.
Well, after the first drop, I mean, 228, they got the bonus points for the drop. They killed at least 5 of the enemy mechs, actually killed all 8 of them. So they got the 300 points for the drop win and 50 points for the bonus. 42 walked away with only 50 rep points for the 2 mechs that they killed. And I'm going to bring us over to the map, Nutty. Let's take a look at this.
All right, let's take a look. So I did start. I did just kind of flag where the 2 teams spawned from. And that's mainly just so we can kind of talk about this a little bit. So you can see that the 228 worked their way up to really up to this area here. So they imagine they kind of pushed up this way, and then 42 kind of went up here. They had a mech posted down here. 2 mechs that were down there. One of them was the Commando, and the rest of their team was kind of up in this area. And then they had video games kind of in here and Harad there. Now this is the cool part, and I'll let you explain what happens next.
Well, trying to remember exactly where they went. A lance of 228 went wide around the outside and ended up, I want to say, up here. Is that right?
Yeah. So what it is, they came around and they did this, and then they kind of came up. They took the long way. Like they actually kind of went up like this and then ended up here.
Yeah, and they were right in there. They were taking shots on 42. A couple of the 228 Overwatch mechs, they positioned themselves over here, put a light down in the circle, and then 42 pushed them. And that's where I thought it was all over for 228, because when you had the entire enemy team pushing on a single lance of mechs, I mean, we always say, don't fight the fair fight. And that was certainly an unfair fight for 228. It was 6-8 mechs coming at a lance. But those Overwatch mechs, Dark Light, Carry Power 10, throwing those those shots, those very accurate shots from long range as they moved closer and closer to the fight, and the 228 focus fire, just taking down those mechs one at a time. I mean, I couldn't have, I didn't predict that happening when 42 pushed into him. I thought it was all over for him, but 228 just played it brilliantly, focused down the mechs, the Overwatch mechs doing their job, and it was all over from there. Only losing 2 mechs in the process.
So one of the keys to this is right along this ridge. That's the high ground there, and then you've got that little. I know it might be hard to see because I'm kind of drawing. I have to draw it kind of fine. So there's a kind of a block that's here, and that's high ground. So when 42, when they pushed in, you had 228 essentially perched up on high ground, and they were able to push in and come over that, and 42 didn't really realize how many mechs were there with the way that 228 was positioned. So they came in. I mean, when 228 came over, it was risky. It was very risky to do that. But I think they knew that the rest of their teammates. I didn't get a chance to see what the Overwatch mechs were carrying.
Well, I know Darklight was one. He loves his long range. That's why I keep saying carry power 10 for him. But I mean, yeah, the Overwatch mechs that were back there in Echo 5, Echo 6, they definitely did their job, and it was a great move. It was a big gamble, I think, but it certainly paid off for him.
It did. It really did. And like I mentioned, like there's this area that's like right here that if you're attacking that area, it's kind of one of those things that it's best to just not do, because there's so many positions from the team that you're pushing into that it makes it a very difficult fight to win. It's not impossible, but it's just very difficult.
I wanna ask Iron about that when we get to the interviews afterwards. Was that something that he just planned on the fly like that, or was this something premeditated? I mean, were they thinking, okay, we just sit back and wait it out for a while, and then when people start getting antsy, we'll move up to box 6, start taking some pot shots from there, and see if we can't bait them into us, or between us and our Overwatch, we can take them out. I'm curious to see if that was actually pre-planned like that, or if it was something they just came up with on the fly.
Yeah, and one of the things we didn't really kind of point it out during the match, but it did happen, is that 1 or 2 of 42 mechs dropped.
Yeah.
So went low. So because they went low, I mean, they didn't have any kind of recovery time. They weren't able to really kind of fix anything from that. So it was they were in a lot of trouble when they did that, because then they lost effectiveness. Now I think one of 228. I'm just looking at the. I'm just taking a look at the replay from YouTube right now. Let me take a look here. You can see that it was Subwoofer from 42 that dropped.
I'm gonna pull that up here real quick. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
MRBC League. Pull this right down here and full screen it. I'm showing on the map strat already. So what time are you at?
If you go back to about 3:39, maybe a little bit further, you'll see the
33:39.
Well, minus 3:39.
3 minutes and 39 seconds.
No, as in like go back 3 minutes and 39 seconds. Or now 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Just back a little ways.
I'm at 3:35.
There you go, and you'll see that Subwoofer dropped, Prometheus dropped.
Yeah.
Dr. Killer went down to challenge him, but that was one of the Swamp Fox's deaths right there. Was when Dr. Killer dropped, because Dr. Killer dropped and then was facing 2 mechs. So that was like the kind of the one thing that Queenblade was mentioning in chat. 42 should have dropped. He's not wrong.
No, he's not. Yeah, just seeing it all happen again right here. It was, again, I can't wait to ask Iron about that play. All right.
All right, taking a look, it looks like 228's ready to go. We're just waiting for 42.
All right, while we're waiting for them, I'm going to take a quick restroom break. I'm drinking too much water here. And we are going to go into drop 2, Terra Therma, 2 lights. 2 lights, 4 mediums, and 2 heavies are being introduced. The game mode is switching to Conquest. While they're getting ready, I will be right back.
All right, everybody in chat, don't forget to be cheering for your favorite team. I know some of the folks are hanging out there in chat, so make sure you cheer them on. Show them your love. Give them as much support as you can. Again, this is a Division A team. This is a Division A match. This is what everybody's been asking for. And it's looking pretty good tonight. And I've officially run out of things to say because I don't have any control of what's going on the screen. But I can talk about the wasp is going to fly into my room here. No, it's not going to work. But yeah, looking back, I'm just actually I know you guys can't see this right now, but I'm looking at the YouTube replay because YouTube you can actually rewind the stream as it's live. You can definitely see there were a few people in their own little battles, but it was always kind of I'll say an unfair fight. Now that we saw. Like I'm looking at the moment where Tolson was taken down. There were 3 mechs focusing on Tolson. Same thing with when Bandit went down and War Gnome. 228 was really showing that that focus fire skill there. That is kind of, I'll say, critical for brawling drops like this.
All right, Nutty, I am back.
Welcome back.
Going over some of the finer things you saw there.
I was like, oh crap! What do I talk about?
I know. He left me.
I had to. I was left, and I had to improvise. So I'm sure chat's gonna slay me over this, anyways. I love you. I love you, chat.
I do need to mention we are gonna have a couple giveaways tonight. They will be after the interviews. We got 2. I think we have a Mech Bay and 1,000 MC to give away tonight. We'll be doing that right after the interviews before the stream is done. So you definitely want to make sure you're chatting, because when we pull up the names, it's pulling from people who have been active in chat in the most recent 5 minutes, I should say. I should probably make sure they know that.
Yeah, so make sure everybody says things. All the things.
I think we're both ready here.
Looks like we are. Let's go ahead and do drop 2, Terra Therma, Conquest. Adding some heavies.
2 heavies, 4 mediums, 2 lights. As we progress on, the drops get heavier and heavier.
And no radio casting, right, RJ?
No radio casting. We're good. I did that 2 or 3 times last season. I think I even did it twice in one match one time.
Oh no!
And I got PTSD from it. But then also I got the Stream Deck too, which makes it really easier to see which one I have going. All right, in the lava of Terra Therma. I'm gonna go take a peek in one of the drop ships.
In the darkness.
Oh.
Of Mount Doom.
It's dark in here. No light in the drop ship. All right, I'm looking at 228. They brought a Huntsman P, a Bushwhacker P1, a Hunchback 2C, a Mislinks G, Hellbringer F, a Wolfhound 2, a Bushwhacker P1, and a Nightgyre D. And I'm really curious to see what is in that Hellbringer.
All right. Meanwhile, RJ's looking at the Hellbringer. Let's take a look at 42. The answer: we got a Mislinks G, a Nightgyre D, a Hunchback 4H, a Phoenix Hawk 1K, another Nightgyre, an Arctic Cheetah, an Assassin, and a Hunchback 2C.
Hey, Nutty, guess what's in the Hellbringer?
What's in the Hellbringer?
Just take a guess.
ATMs?
the hell's wrong with you?
Hey, you wouldn't ask me this otherwise.
What is our favorite build?
2 heavy larges, 4 ER mediums.
There you go.
There we go. Nita Pickle getting an early cap on Theta, which is in Terra Therma. It is probably the most important point out of this whole map.
Yeah.
This is where the brawl always happens. This Swamp Fox is getting that early cap and getting a considerable one too. They didn't just sliver; they made it so you have to really commit.
Yeah, you're gonna have to step on that for at least 1 or 2 minutes. And when you're in the sights of some of these crack shots that are in the 228, that can really hurt.
Oh, meanwhile, looks like 228's gonna possibly catch out half of the 42 team there.
Yeah.
Or at least they know where they are. Dom is doing some trading there with Subwoofer.
Oh, and I bet you anything. I'm not gonna call that because I'm not gonna see it. I was gonna say it might be a kiting maneuver. Nita Pickle's trying to get some shots on him too.
Yeah, Dom in that Huntsman, 6 streak 6s. He's gonna be able to do a lot of damage there. Pickle is doing pokes against Subwoofer now as well.
Iron Kilo taking some long-range trades against War Gnome and Prometheus.
Low, looks like 42 might be taking the bait. They're moving. The 4 mechs are moving in on Nita Pickle. Looks like Pickle, Dom, and Brad to the Bone are focusing Tolson.
Yeah, looks like 42 is focusing Dom pretty hard, trying to get that Huntsman out of the game.
Yeah, Tolson with that flamer on that Assassin's trying to do some work against Dom. And it works. Lurch takes down Dom, but Brad to the Bone follows up with Tolson.
We got 1 dead apiece from this little skirmish happening right here. Darklight in the middle of it, in that Bushwhacker P1. Bushwhacker for Darklight.
Oh. Yeah,
almost
Darklight's
legged.
been legged. He's been legged. He's got a left leg left, and that's cord.
Brad to the Bone has gone down. Darklight has gone down quickly. That's 3 down for the 228. Nita Pickle now caught all alone with 3 mechs on him. He's going to drop really quick. He does. He's down. That just leaves 4 228 mechs left on the field.
What a maneuver by 42. We thought it was risky, but in the end, they were able to capitalize on it quite well. Subwoofer focusing Dr. Killer in that Hellbringer. Sherrod backing up best as he can. 228 gets a strikeout, but doesn't find purchase.
A nice strike just came in on Dr. Killer.
War Gnome and that Night Guard 73%, but that cord CT. That's a big mech. If that Night Guard goes down, that's going to make it very difficult for 42 here. Sherrod takes down the Hunchback 4H. That's the heavy Goss.
And then he overheated and is just taking a ton of shots now. I'm not sure if he's going to make it out of there alive at this point.
No, the Night Gyre does go down to self-destruct. But Video Games follows up and takes down Sherrod's Night Gyre. And Iron Kilo's in the back, 62% is Hunchback 2C.
Yeah, let's take a look at his... Yeah, his left torso's crit, but yeah, he's got Subwoofer coming in on him now. He's now being focused, got 2 mechs shooting at him.
Meanwhile, there is a miniature light fight here. Lurch versus Night Fox. Night Fox is trying to... Looks like he's trying to kind of run behind, possibly get another cap. I'm not really sure where Night Fox is going here. But Lurch in the Mistlinks G is following him. It is Mistlinks versus Mistlinks.
495, almost 500 resource points to 42's 140, but 42 is on the caps. They're on Sigma, Theta, and Epsilon consecutively right now.
Yeah, they gotta get somebody over to Kappa as well, but they did. But 228 did get a full cap on Kappa.
Night Fox is really gonna have his work cut out for him if he's gonna try to keep a cap game here.
Lurch was tagged briefly by those machine guns, so didn't quite get enough cap points on it. He did move out and in, and he's just trying to work on that cap. Looks like they've slivered it at this point. Night Fox is still there, knowing that Lurch is pretty injured here. He's got no arms left, and he's got one leg is cord.
And Night Fox could take out that leg really easy.
But Lurch being very smart, he's not exposing too much of his mech. Night Fox having to jump up in order to hit him.
And Night Fox is overheated in the lava, down to 41% and dead. 42 takes drop 2.
Wow, well played by 42. That
Yeah.
was an epic. That was an epic maneuver that they did because they split up their team, which I didn't think was a good idea. And then when they pulled that off, that was just really amazing. Let's take a look at the scores for 42. Vidya Games in the Night Guard Prime did the most damage and also took 4 kills. Lurch in that Mistlinks G 3 kills, and Subwoofer has another kill as well. Over on the 228 side, we can see that Sherrod, Nita Pickle, and Brad to the Bone each have a kill apiece. 4 mechs went down. 4 on 42 side. One of them went down to an overheat, while the other 3 were taken down by the 228.
Yeah, that was a good drop. That was a very, very, very good move there by 42. Taking us back to the main screen now, each team with 2 drops apiece. Swamp Fox is having just a very slim 50-point lead in the rep points. And that's going to bring us into drop 3. But do you want to look at that? Do you want to watch that replay?
Let's take a look at it, because this was... I want to watch the positioning again, because that positioning that 42 did was very interesting, and I want to try to get it on the map strat here.
Yeah, let's... Where am I at here? Here we go. I'm gonna go to the replay. I'm not sure exactly. Oh, I'm at the point where the dropships are coming in.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna, because it looks like I'm just drawing on the mini map on our map strat right now, just so that way we can have something to talk about here.
I'm at minus 101, minus 53, and this is where we first start to see the poking from 42 against Dom.
So in actuality, I didn't really notice this, but 228 was split up as well, but their teammates were just a little closer together, because 228 had folks in the Fox 7 area, and then they were coming around to Fox 8. There's like there's a rock face that kind of splits them. So when 42 went down there, they were just literally on the other side of that rock from each other. And then, we had, it was Pickle, and before that it was somebody else that was trying to, as you mentioned, there was Dom it was Dom first and then Pickle, trying to pull them in. And the thing is, it was 42 held up to, they answered that challenge, and they did push in.
Yeah, they caught Dom out by himself, were able to focus him down so easily, and then working on Brad to the Bone next. I mean, it was pretty evenly matched in that there was 4 mechs apiece, but the way that 228 was kind of back behind the rocks, it didn't give them very open lanes of fire. And as they were caught out front, 42 was able to easily focus him down and then start working the legs for both the bushwhackers there. Brad dropped first, Darklight immediately followed, and then Pickle was still up there with them, and of course the rest of the 42 team had pushed up towards State at that point, and they all caught Pickle off guard, and that was immediately 4 mechs taken out of the game right there.
Yeah, and I think there was a point, because when 42 first came around that little mountain, they were focusing on different targets, and I think probably what happened is 42 identified that who was it? Dom in the Huntsman had streaks. Of course, streaks are really brutal against light mechs, and they wanted to keep the mobility for caps. So I think they basically called out Dom, that Dom had streaks, and then they all started focusing him down, all 4 of them, and then took him down really quickly, and then followed up pretty shortly by Darklight. I think Darklight was the next one to go down.
Yeah. Yeah, when Dom, Brad, Darklight, then Pickle. And we just saw Sherrod's catastrophic overheat there. This is where Pickle gets pushed, or not Pickle, Night Fox gets pushed up on. Yeah. And we know what happened with Night Fox there. I'm going to switch back to...
Don't forget to change the nap mode for...
yeah.
For the group for next match here.
Will do. We're going to Caustic. All right. Well, like I said, 450 rep points for the Swamp Foxes, 400 for 42. Just a 50-point rep point difference, 1 drop apiece. It's going to take us into... Yeah, drop 3. I thought this said drop 5 for a second. It's going to take us into drop 3. This is the Commander Assassination mode. This is arguably most players' favorite game mode. I know there's some who like the regular ones or like the assault one at the end. In this particular drop, there are no lights involved. It's 3 medium mechs, 4 heavies, and 1 100-ton assault. And that 100-ton assault must be in the form of a king crab, an atlas, or a dire wolf. If you can kill the enemy assault mech while keeping yours alive, you get the 50 bonus points for the drop. If both assault mechs are still alive at the end of the drop, no bonus points are given. If both of them are dead, no bonus points are given. Yours must be alive while the enemies must be dead. Waiting for the teams here to tell us when they are ready.
So, Chad, I hope you enjoyed that. That was 42's first drop win of Div A.
That is true. Yeah, congrats to 42 for getting their first drop win.
Congratulations, 42. Just like, we're seeing risky maneuvers here. 228 did a really risky maneuver in drop 1, and it paid off. And then 42 kind of did the same thing.
Yeah.
They pulled a risky maneuver, and risky mainly because their backup force, because they had them split, they were split into their 2 lances, and they're far away from each other. Whereas the 228, while the 228 was split up as well, they were really close.
I think though what happened there was when the flanking team, the flanking lance got fully engaged, the other lance started to push up at that point, because by the time they got the pickle, most of the other lance was there in the theta area, so they kind of merged at that point right there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was still really good shooting on 42's part, because it was a 4v4 there, and in the end it was a 2-0 when those mechs emerged from there.
Mm-hmm. All right, we see that 228's currently getting their lances set up for the Caustic Valley drop. Of course, you guys can't see it. We can, though. And then, of course, we'll have 42 getting their lances set, and then we'll be ready to go for this drop.
My question is Silken drunk yet?
Yeah, that's a good question, Silken. So I've been speaking quite often, and the rule is if I say anything to finish your drink. So you should probably be on the on your way to the hospital by now for alcohol poisoning. So we'll see. I wish I copied and pasted the drinking rules, but
yeah, so do I.
I'm gonna see if I could find them because they did different rules. They did rules for you and they did rules for me. Yeah, and I think the kind of the synopsis is for if you mention anything to do with Panic Button or 228, and if I'm really just say anything.
Oh yeah, it was Panic Button, Canyon Network, Worlds 2016, or what was the third one? It was our match last week, and one drink if I mention our match last week, and then another drink, a second drink if I forget who we played against. Who did we play against?
What, last week?
I'm just making him drink.
Right?
Well, we didn't play Zeta. We played Arc 7.
That's right. It was Arc 7 last week. That's right. It was Zeta the previous match.
Yeah.
But don't forget, if it was a radio cast, you have to finish your drink.
Yeah, if it's a radio cast, I think if it's a radio cast, they have to finish the bottle.
Yeah. All right, still waiting for 228 to confirm that their lances are ready to go. Remember that teams are allowed up to 15 minutes per drop, or between drops rather, to get things set up.
15 long and glorious minutes for the Twitch stream.
That's right. Where I get to look at you all creepily. No. I shouldn't say that. I'm trying to be professional here, and I'm doing a terrible job at it. So it looks like 228's ready to go. Waiting for 42 now.
It was getting a little dark in my place here. I had to get a light turned on. When we started this stream, it was daylight. Still. Probably still daylight where you're at, isn't it?
It is. It is. Yeah, we actually went outside and enjoyed the day. Stopped by the PGI offices and tried to break in, but locks are OP. That's all I'm going to say is locks are OP.
Once we get the word from 42, we'll be going into drop 3. Just waiting for Bandit to ready up.
All right, Bandit said he's locked.
All right.
We're ready to go for drop 3, Caustic Valley. Let's see what's going to happen here.
Commander assassination mode. Keep your assault alive while killing the enemy assault.
The best version of escort you could ever ask for.
Yeah, this is what should be in the real game. A normal moving, normal shooting assault mech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a player gets you have been selected to be the VIP. Please choose one of these mechs. All right, so this time I will take 228 and you will take 42.
Aw.
Sorry. Remember, non-biased.
Aw.
And don't forget.
But I like my 228.
I know. And our match last week.
Panic button, you're my hero.
12 damage. All right. Let's take a look and see what we have on the 228 side. We have a Nita Pickle and Nightgyre Prime, Dr. Killer in the Hunchback, Hellbringer rather, Iron Kilo and Hunchback 2C, Brad of the Bone and a Phoenix Hawk, Sherrod, Dragon 5N, nice. Their commander mech is a Direwolf piloted by Dom Darklight in a Summoner, and Night Fox in a Phoenix Hawk. Brad of the Bone charging in right away to take Theta. Meanwhile,
42, the answer. They got an NCT Prime. What is that?
Novacat.
Novacat. Oh, okay. It's the first time I've seen one of those so far this season. Nightgyre Prime, Nightgyre Prime and a Nightgyre D. That's their duplicate. A Hunchback 2C, a Phoenix Hawk 1K, a Warhammer 6R. Their assault mech is the King Crab 000, and then an Assassin 21.
So we can see that Iron Kilo here is perched up by Epsilon in Fox 5, and he's doing some Overwatch here, trying to figure out where the team is. He's got 4 Ultra 2s in that Hunchback 2C, so he has a long range of fire. Meanwhile, you got Bandit and the Warhammer. He is pulling away. He was perched up where Iron Kilo could be able to see him, but he pulled back to the rest of the team. The rest of the team seems to be rotating to the right here. 42 taking Sigma and Kappa, and they are trying to group up. Meanwhile, 228 has that Cap advantage.
Yeah, a couple of mechs, both Lurch and Tolson over here. I think this is the Charlie 4 area. Charlie 4, Charlie 5. We're going to start to get eyes on Darklight. Had to zoom in there to see who that was.
Looks like some strikes went out against Darklight, but Darklight didn't take too much damage, only a couple percent.
Yeah, a couple of long-range shots going off from across the cauldron here. Looks like Harad and that Novacat's going to try to make... Oh, looks like the whole team is starting to push straight over the caldera.
The strike that went on Dr. Killer hurt. He got cored in the rear. Dr. Killer is cored in the rear, 88%. And you see Subwoofer, the Nightgyre, is pushing on the Caldera. The Subwoofer in that Nightgyre D does have 4 ATM 12s and a tag.
228 now being hit from both sides with Tolson and Lurch coming up and getting their left flank Dom, Sherrod, Nita Pickle all taking big hits as the rest of 42 pushes over the Caldera.
Yeah, the 42 is going to be able to take a lot of fire right down on him. Darklight getting a huge hit on him, 55%. And his mech will have taken some damage. He's down to 1 ER PPC. He is halved. That's going to make it difficult. Meanwhile, Dom, the Direwolf, 38%, 37%. They are focusing the Direwolf, and the Night Fox goes down. The Direwolf goes down right afterwards. There's 2 mechs down on the 228 side with an Artie strike just to kind of follow up. Meanwhile, Bandit 57%, 53%. Sherrod is just getting outgunned here in his Dragon, looking at the whole 42 team while he gets taken down by Subwoofer.
Meanwhile, the King Crab, War Gnome for 42 is still sitting at 67%. Brad to the Bone just dropped. I don't even see the King Crab. Where's he? Oh, there he is, right there in the midst of all of it.
Yeah, the King Crab trying to use his weight here. They know they have a significant advantage here, but looking at 42's mechs, they have a lot of injured mechs. Lurch and the Phoenix Hawk 25% left. Bandit 43%. Those mechs, if you breathe on them wrong, they will go down. Iron Kilo is trying to charge up to Tolson here, but Tolson has that flamer, and Tolson takes down Iron Kilo. Dr. Killer still alive at 28%.
Looks like Nita Pickle is getting focused now by Tolson, getting great back shots in on him. I don't think Nita Pickle is going to be around much longer.
No, unfortunately, they've surrounded Pickle. We have Dr. Killer trying to support Pickle as much as he can by poking at Tolson, but just Pickle was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, taken down by the King Crab. Darklight follows up though, takes out Tolson.
Dr. Killer is oh, there it is. Another very decisive victory from 42. You're speechless, Nutty.
I'm kind of processing the match in my head. Looking at the scores here, War Gnome, Subwoofer and that Night Guard D, 639 damage, 1 kill, 6 assists. They have 42 has a really decent kill spread across the group. Lurch is the only one that didn't eke out a kill, but Prometheus covered that for him with 2 kills. Over on the 228 side, you can see that Dr. Killer and that Hellbringer did 469 damage. The rest of the team is in the 200 to 300 damage range, with the exception of Sherrod, who unfortunately did get caught out by a significant number of 42 folks and went down with 129 damage. That was well played. The King Crab for 42 did survive.
It did.
So that means 42 does get the bonus points for this drop.
And 228's only going to walk away with 50 points from this drop. And that shakes up the numbers pretty good. 42 now having a 250 point rep lead over 228, 750 to 500. Now we scrimmed 228 Swamp Foxes, and the strat that they played there wasn't even remotely close to what they scrimmed us with. When we scrimmed them, they did a long range trade game, grabbed some quick caps, and tried to force us to make a play on them. What we saw here, they were all just kind of. I want to pull it up in the replay.
Well, look at the replay right now, and it looks like 228 did set up for a long range game. I think they were expecting 42 to either perhaps expecting them to brawl, or to even really care about Epsilon, which the only Overwatch they kind of had was Bandit in the Warhammer. Was kind of Iron Kilo was kind of looking at him for a good chunk of time, or looking at least in that direction. Whether or not he had sight lines, I honestly can't remember. I don't think he did, because that Bandit didn't really take. He took a little bit of damage, but not much. But 42 just they didn't want to have anything to do with that Fox line. Really, the kind of Echo 5, Echo 6, Fox 5, Fox 6. Because that area, that is just that's open ground. It's just it's bait for for Gauss rifles, for PPC fire, for any type of long range trade. And 42 just said, you know what, let's not do that. Instead, they opted to go over to Charlie 4 and then into Delta 4, where you do have a little bit more cover from the terrain, and use that to their advantage.
I'm watching it now in the live version that the viewers are seeing, and I mean, if they were going for a trade long range thing, they just 228 just seemed awfully grouped up. Too many people in one small area of the map to make that effective. I'm curious as to what the thought process was here.
Yeah, but 42 did eventually group in, but you can see that they did send 2 mechs on a flanking maneuver behind 228. That's on that ridge line, kind of an Delta 3 Echo 3. They kind of went wide around that, and you can. I'm a little bit behind the live view right now by about a minute, and basically they had 2 mechs kind of just sitting around Gamma, but they didn't touch the point. They were very smart. They didn't touch the point. Instead, they used those 2 mechs to actually get fire at them at range. Looking at them, that was the Assassin, and there was one other mech. The Phoenix Hawk. So those 2 mechs were the flanking mechs. Tolson's Assassin does have a flamer on it, which is brutal on hot maps like this.
Oh, I can't remember what season it was. It might have been season 7 or 8. Caustic Valley was the map for the first drop, and Bandit brought a Locust with like 1 small pulse laser and a bunch of flamers, and it came down to the end of the match. All he had was his flamers. The small pulse was crit out, and the enemy mech was legged with no weapons. It was extremely funny to watch. Well, going into drop 4, what do you think 228 needs to do here to turn this around?
I don't know. It's the strategies that we're seeing here. It's almost like 228 is trying to set up for a long range game, but keeping everybody close in case the brawl push comes. And I think they need to kind of make a decision one way or another. I think that's the problem, is that 228 is known for their comfort zone, having long range trade in their comfort zone. We've talked ad nauseum in previous casts about the length of time that the 228 have played Canyon Network and really honed that long range trade mechanic.
Yeah.
But I think this just they're letting their team get too spread out in mechs that maybe aren't working for that. And I suspect that 42 is, they're working to kind of, be able to punish those mechs really quickly. We can see, for instance, with the Night Gyre on the 42 side, 4 ATM 12s, and a tag, and at optimal range, those ATMs do a considerable amount of damage. What do you think, RJ? I don't know.
I mean, drop 1 surprised me with the strat that they used, but it worked really well for them. Drop 2, they seemed to really set up like I was expecting. They got a little too overwhelmed on one flank there, which is what brought them down. But this drop right here, what they did in drop 3 really perplexes me, because like I said, we scrimmed them. I was expecting to do something completely different than what we saw there, and I think had they ran the range game that they played against us, they would have taken down that push from 42 easy, but that's just not what we got.
All right, go ahead and change that map up while we get ready for drop 4. Drop 4, Tourmaline Desert. We get a little bit more long range, and the report from Silken is in. He went and got T.
What?
Yeah, he said I'm not. I got T instead.
All right, Nutty, I will be right back, sir.
All right. Again, you're leaving me alone again, RJ.
I'm drinking too much water. That's the problem. I'm on my 5th bottle of water since I went for my walk earlier. That's the problem. Be right back.
All right. Well, we're setting up now, folks, for drop 4, or we're setting up for drop 4, Tourmaline Desert. Tourmaline, of course, we're no stranger to any of these maps. But Tourmaline is one of those ones that I have seen two different strategies here that are really effective. You know, Tourmaline seems to track really more of a long range deck, but we have seen in some of the other matches where they have been able to effectively brawl push. The challenge with brawl push is that if you're brawling against a range deck, you know, you're essentially walking out in the open towards the enemy. So really interesting to see what comes out of this drop. So with Tourmaline Desert, 228 kind of known for their long range trade. 42 have effectively, I'm not going to say neutered it, but have definitely been working to counter it, because if you look at the way that they've conducted themselves last match, they really did a good job. And yet again, this is the second time. Pardon me. This is the second time now on the third drop where we've seen something different. A new mech that has come out, because they did bring out a Nova Cat did come out, but we're also starting to see a lot more ATMs in some of these matches, and seeing them all over the place. So it's a very interesting interesting turn of events, because I know that there's usually some kind of animosity towards longer range lock-on weapons, but ATMs are definitely finding a purchase here.
Oh yeah, we've seen former EMP players use them. We saw a couple mechs rocking ATMs in the Div G match we casted last night. Urbies too. We're seeing Urbies.
Yes. I love the fact that there's Urbies.
In fact, it was one of the matches, I can't remember if I was casting it with Mikado or with you, where we saw that it was drop 1, they doubled up on the Urbies.
I think that was with me. That was when we were a little bit shocked. There's 2 Urbies. Holy cow! Why are they there? Kind of thing. So it's it's great to see some new life being injected into some of the into some of the strats that are out there.
Well, 42 has now won their second drop of the MRBC season, and now we think about it, both teams are actually even in the number of drops that they've won. This match could go either way. If the 228 Swamp Foxes play this next map, how I'm thinking that they will play it, being Team 1. I want to pull up the map.
Yeah, let's pull up the map strat. I already switched it over for you.
All right, yeah, let's look at this. These guys are taking bathroom breaks like I just did, so it's all good. All right, well, did we scrim Swamp Foxes on this map? I think we did.
We did, and we got punished.
Well, yeah, we always get punished.
We always get punished.
I imagine, I could be totally wrong with these guys, but I imagine we'll see a couple mechs up here on the stage. We'll see another mech over here on the spire. Might see mech back here doing trades.
Perhaps up here. Oops, let me make that bigger. Kind of up on that spire there.
Yeah, maybe over there. We could even see 3 mechs up on the stage, or we could see a mech, if depending on their movement, could push up early into the Stargate area, but that would strictly depend on their movement. Actually, I drew those other dots in the wrong spot. Erase those.
Yeah, you put them in the kill box. You put them in the no-go zone. Those of you who don't know, there is this little zone that's like right down here, and you just never go in there.
Yeah, that's a bad spot.
This is death. Just no. Just stay out of these. No, just hang on. Just no. That's just one area you just don't go into, because that's just a small valley of death, because there's so many sight lines going down. But looking on Team 2 side, so there's a couple of interesting points to bring up. So first of all, there's this area right here.
Yeah, it's the Echo 4 spot. I love that spot.
This area, if you have this, you control a significant amount of the map. And not to mention that if let's say Team 1 decides to push into that, then Team 2 has this kind of line right there, and that they can use that to, you know, pick people off as they go through. It's also kind of relatively hidden from people pushing up this way for more mechs to come and reinforce,
or for a retreat, because if Team 2 has a nice firing line set up on this ridge here, and maybe someone up here, and the Echo 4 team is getting pushed as I'm gonna switch colors here. I'm gonna go to green. As they back up, if they back up towards their team, if they could basically kite the push around Echo 4 straight into their big firing lines. It's a great position to hold on the map. Stage is a great position. The spires are clearly a great position. This map is just full of really good long-range trading positions, but yet there seems to be a lot less emphasis on the long-range trade this season, and a lot more emphasis on brawl pushes and mid-range laser vomit. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. No, they're just typing somebody out to chat here about who's having a problem with locking up. Right? Or
what's going on?
So, oh, it's just someone's having some freezing issues on Twitch. Just letting him know that he can drop the quality setting in the lower right corner of the screen.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm showing 0 drop frames so far.
Yeah, no, it's just connectivity. That's all that is. But yeah, so laser vomit works on here. PPC fire works really well on here. Of course, long range Gauss can work. You know, it's all a matter of what's there. But let's look at this from another angle. So one of the things that I mentioned while you were going to the washroom is the fact that, you know, you can brawl.
Yeah.
On this. So let's just say, for sake of argument, you know, let's say that 228 decides to do their setup on Team 1, and 42 decides for the brawl. You know, it depends on which lances they're in, of course. You know, there's different ways that they can do this. We saw one CR go this way, and go straight into Theta. You can also, if you can get enough weight and you have enough coordination with how your mechs move, you can run straight up the middle. And of course, there's also, and this is kind of a way that people will go sometimes, but it's not the best way, is to kind of come up the stage from behind. This going in this direction is actually very difficult, because as you're going up, you've got enemy mechs that are up here. You've got mechs from here that can fire down, and if they decide to post anybody up on the stage, they can turn around and fire at people that, you know, basically at what is a region where you can only fit 1 or 2 mechs abreast at a time.
All right, we are getting ready to go into drop 4. Blank engagement. 2-2-2-2. 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults. Again, the game mode is Conquest. Tourmaline Desert. 42 currently up 2 drops to 1 with 750 rep points. Swamp Foxes with 500.
So we are being educated in chat. Apparently, Urbies were used last season.
Not in my team, they weren't, but we didn't do very well on my team, so that might explain some of it. All right. Wait for there are no drop ships on this map. The mechs just kind of all of a sudden appear. I don't think there is. One of the maps there's no drop ships. Maybe it was Canyon. I think it's Canyon that's...
No, River City is no drops, I think. Yeah. No, it's Canyon. No, Canyon is right. Your Canyon is no drop ships.
All right, do you want to do 228 again?
All right, I will take over. I will take 228 one more time. You can do that for River City for the last drop. All right, 228, we've got a Summoner Prime. We've got 2 Summoners, a Hunchback 2CA, a Huntsman, a Wolfhound, Supernova Mislinked, and a Mad Cat Mark II 1. And we can see that 228 is already trading with 42. 42 is charging in.
Yeah, it's a straight charge in. 42, King Crab, 000, Nightgyre Prime, Arctic Cheetah, Hunchback 2CB, Assassin 21, Mad Cat 2B, another Nightgyre Prime, and a Mislinks G. 42 is walking straight in on him. 228 taking some of those rear positions that I was looking at on the map. Gonna try to kite him into the kill box that you were just talking about.
Yeah, they were just 42 said, screw it, just go straight at him. Didn't touch a cap point or anything. There we go. They finally got the first cap point. But that was an aggressive move from 42 that I was not expecting to see. You got the 228 sitting up in Charlie 5, Charlie 6 now, setting up some firing lines back up there with the Valley of Death between them.
Sherrod up high in that summoner on one of the spires trying to get some PPC shots downrange, and he is a crack shot.
New target acquired.
He definitely knows how to work those PPCs.
He does. 42 pushing around the Delta 4 side, looking for some pot shots, but the terrain is working to 228's advantage here.
Yeah.
Warnome and the King Crab down to 58%. 228 is holding together really well in the damage numbers though.
Yeah, so 228 just got a great vantage point. If 42 keeps moving down to that kill box, 228's got great spots on him. All of these lights on 228's flank are starting to give them trouble. Lurch, Tolson, and Herod over here. Herod. It's currently 342 lights and mediums working against 3 or 4 228 mechs. Warnome is the first to go down.
We can see that the 42 is relying on these ATMs. Right now, 42 is they're kind of doing an uphill battle here. 228 taking the rear position and just taking their time, shooting what they need to. Sherrod and that summoner doing work. Has, at this point, shots for days, doesn't even need to use his jump jets at this point. But 42 pushing in towards Iron Kilo, and Iron Kilo goes down to Vigi Games.
Iron Kilo, the first to drop both Bandit and Warnome down for 42. Viaja Games goes down from Darklight. Area Power 10.
Dom, though, 21% left in that Supernova. Not feeling well. 42, their mechs are really injured. Herod and the Arctic Cheetah, 13%, 12% left in that mech. There's just nothing left of that thing, and there he goes down by Nita Pickle. 228 is definitely doing well on the mechs department with 42. It's down to 2 mechs. Lurch at 57 in the Mistlinks, Tolson 37 in the Assassin 21. Dr. Killer takes down Tolson. It's down to Lurch.
Looks like Lurch is going to try to maybe run up and get some caps. I want to see what the health is of this mech.
So he's 57%. He is cord CT.
Yeah, he's not going to last long.
Cord as well. He is one-touch CT. Dark Light comes
there
around
it is.
the corner. And there we go.
That's what 228 needed right there.
That confidence boost, that knowledge and knowing that, hey, you know what, there's some light at the end of the tunnel there. But 42 with that shock push.
Yeah. And the response by 228. Get ball back, take the high ground, bring 42 into the kill box. That was textbook by a 228 team right there. We're not playing this map again this season, are we, for our team?
I don't think so. All right, let's look at the damage. And said 228 did take this one. Darklight, Brad to the bone, both getting 2 kills apiece, 468 and 443 damage respectively. Iron Kilo with a kill at 298. Nita Pickle and Dr. Killer each picking up a kill as well. Meanwhile, over in 42, Vidya Games and Subwoofer each picking up a kill, and the rest of the team are sitting in even damage numbers. But that was definitely 228's game.
Definitely. And that's the Swamp Foxes I know right there. So going into drop 5, this is the match we wanted, Nutty. This is the match the viewers wanted. Both teams having won 2 drops. Swamp Foxes with an extremely narrow 50-point rep point lead at this point. 850 to 800. Drop 5, if it doesn't end in a tie, drop 5 will decide the victors of this match. I see on the stream where let's pull up the replay because this happened really fast.
Like, we didn't even get a chance to talk about the mechs too much because 42 just pushed right in. And that alpha to alpha push that Silken was giving me a hard time about not mentioning as a brawl. That's the one that I didn't bring up, and that's the one that they did.
All right, fast forward. 42 has already made their push in. I'm looking at Sherrod, who climbed up to the spire, and he was getting some great shots from up there. They weren't able to do anything to him. It seemed like the whole match. And he's a crack shot with those dual peeps. I just noticed his build, though. He's got 2 heavy machine guns on that thing. If Sherrod does it. And you can see right here, 42. I'm at live time on the video. 42 on the edge of that kill box. 228. I mean, they're just starting to get harassed by the lights on their left side, and it was just the positioning that they had going in. Even when those lights and mediums started harassing the 228 players, it was a 4v3, soon to be 5v3. I mean, they were outnumbered with the rest of their team still sitting back in the kill box taking shots from up high. It was a textbook play from 228 here the whole match.
Yeah, but you see, the one thing that 42 could have done here is corralled 228 on that Charlie line, in Charlie 5 and Charlie 6, and then gone and taken all the caps. But they didn't. Instead, they wanted to be aggressive. They wanted to push in. That involves pushing through a very open area where that Charlie line has sight lines for days. Right? You can just shoot.
Yeah.
You can fire down at will. The people that are in that bowl, you know, they have a hard time shooting up because of the terrain. The terrain has a lot of gives you a lot of protection against that low incoming fire.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's actually a really, really good point, Nutty. Because while all of 228 is back in the back of the map in that high ground, those lights that were harassing the 228's left side, if they had gone out and started doing some capping there while the rest of the team stayed close and just gave them something to swing at, make them think that they were trying to push or whatever, it could have been a really good distraction for them to snag a couple of extra cap points. You're right, because by the entire 228 team being back there, they gave up a lot of map control over a lot of points. That's a very good point. But the 42 kept the push going, and the match was over pretty quick. You want to look at it on the map?
Let's take a look. I mean, there's only so much we can talk about here. But looking at the map strat, we had 228 was spread out between, I think, all three lances, but 42 is really the one to talk about, where they dropped an Alpha Bravo. The lance that was in Alpha just pushed immediately straight across, Bravo following up, going in via Theta, and then pushing first and then stepping back to in order to pick up that little bit of cap points there on flipping Theta to their benefit. Meanwhile, 228 was forced to set up, so we had Sherrod up in the spire here. Actually, it was on the secondary spire over on that side, so he wasn't kind of on that tall one, which was a smart idea because it gave him better range. But meanwhile, you had the rest of 228 essentially posted up here. Now, 42 could have set up a concave right here and kept them at bay while their lights go and capped, but instead they decided to push in.
Yeah, and they pushed in right through the very kill box that you singled out before the start of the match. I mean, that's that Delta 5 kill box, Delta 5, Delta 6 kill box. It's just a terrible place to be, especially if your enemy is all up top and surrounding you, just like 228 was. And so even when they started to make that push in on them, they were so hurt and beat up by that point. I mean, it was virtually ineffective. Only taking out 228 mechs in the process. It was textbook. It was textbook play on 228's part. 42 could have done a couple things different there.
Yeah, no, it would have been, like I said, if 42 did this, they would have had the drop, or at the very least, they would have been a bit more of a challenge for 228 to eke it out. But instead, 42 did choose to push in. Now, one of their mechs, the King Crab, had basically sat under here the whole time. And that's because he got hit really hard, really quickly. I didn't get a chance to see what the loadout was in the King Crab, but I know that that the King Crab just he wasn't able to get into the fight. And again, you know, when we're looking, I'm just going to wipe this here. When, you know, we're talking about, you know, this ridge line right here. That ridge line is, you know, you have to shoot. You have to shoot up from this area here, from kind of the death bowl, the fish bowl, whatever you want to call it, and that line of terrain right there just protects any mech that's standing behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a great drop.
It was fantastic. So we didn't even get a chance to get set up because 42 just said, "Screw this, we're going in."
Kill them all. Wait a minute. Nope. Put on the brakes.
Hold my beer. But well done, and now this takes us into Drop 5, River City. We are tied up 2-2.
Yeah, this is a good game, kids. I mean, I am very biased for the 228 team, obviously, but this is the type of matches we like to see here. Fifth drop is going to decide it. Only a 50 rep point difference between the two teams. Don't forget, boys and girls, right after the match is done, we're going to be talking with the team captains over on TeamSpeak. And then after we're done there, we're going to have a couple giveaways for you.
Yep, so make sure to keep active in chat. Root for your team. Cheer as much as you can. Have fun. More than anything.
228 unit of books.
Just getting caught up on chat here.
All right. We're just waiting for the teams to get set up and ready.
So what do you think is going to happen on this last drop?
Oh, gonna be exciting. 228 being team 1. I'm gonna flip the map over here so I can take a look at it. River City Conquest. Let's look at the map again while we're waiting on these guys.
Well, it looks like MRBC League 2. I mean, everyone's going to hear this 5 minutes later, but MRBC League 2 just threw a raiding party of 65 in.
Oh, really? Their match is done already.
Their match is done. Yeah, Ash is hanging out in chat with the sale as well.
Oh. Okay, we got to ask him. All right, so map strat. River City. 228 is team 1, so immediately they're going to grab Kappa. They're probably going to try to send something as quick as they can to Theta, and they're going to get Gamma. I bet you anything they're going to be dropping heavy in Alpha Bravo. They'll probably get somebody positioned up on the Citadel here, maybe on that side. Get the assaults, other ones up on the airport, and get a couple guys looking this way across Theta to protect Theta. So what you end up having here is a nice little concave over this area with control over a really good sizable portion of the map. It's just the Citadel that creates that big void that's hard to see around. But if the lights play it right, they'll know if they're going to make that Gulf line push over there. Depending on how 42 moves, 228 could send a couple guys down into the gardens down here to get better map control going around. And this is if they play their long range game. Don't know exactly how they're going to do it, but you know, based off what we've seen so far in these drops. But if they do like what I expect, I think they'll take high points and pull a long range game to try to kite them in, similar to what they did to 42 in the last drop. What do you think 42 is going to do?
It's a hard read. I mean, 42 has been favoring the brawl push over long range, but I mean, we've been kind of burnt on this before, saying that, oh, it's going to be another brawl, but you know, they might, you know, they could do the typical setup that you would see in Upper City, where you would normally get mechs posted up here, potentially, you know, trying to get trying to take over the gardens area, and even, you know, there's kind of a couple of sections of the kind of the lower city where you can usually sit to get a little bit more, you know, get a little bit more effectiveness. But, you know, of course, the place to avoid is here, right? This is your kind of, you know, like every map, there's usually a no-go zone. This is one of those no-go zones, because depending on where the team is set up, you will just get punished quite a bit from any of the long range mechs. But this is assuming that a long range deck is gonna happen, right? If we look at it another way, it could be a complete brawl push on the Fox line, or even like we saw with the 1CR team, they push right through Golf, right through into Golf 7, and gave Orb a run for their money.
All right, guys, we're going into drop 5 now. This is the final drop of the night. 50 rep point difference between the two teams. Both teams getting 2 drops apiece. Show a little hype in the chat. Start rooting for your team, because this drop is most likely going to be the deciding drop of the match.
Unless we get a tie, in which case there'll be another drop.
That would be hilarious. The 2 top teams in the division had to do a 6 drop on Thursday, and if the 2 bottom teams in the division had to do the same thing, both involving 228.
228 hacks, right?
Right. I think what happened with Dropship 5 and Blackwatch is a very rare thing. Getting an early look at the mechs in one of the dropships here. The mechs are powering up. Oh, wait, oh, no, shift tab. I got pulled up my Steam overlay there. That's not good.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
All right, 228. On the 228 deck, we have an Annihilator 2A, a Summoner Prime, a Wolfhound 2, a Supernova 1, a Mislinks G, a Linebacker D, and another second Annihilator 2A, and a Mad Cat 2-1.
Over on the 42 side, we got a Nova Cat, a Firestarter. Interesting. Good to see something new, something different. Mad Cat Mark 2B, a Hellbringer, a Highlander 2C, a Wolfhound, probably a Mad Cat Mark 2 rather, and then a Marauder 2C, and then a Mad Cat Mark 2B. So the Mad Cat Mark 2 is their duplicate.
Okay, a light from both teams making a run at Theta. Looks like Nita Pickle is going to back off. Tolson backed off too, so no team taking Theta right out of the gate. Looking up on the airport, both Mad Cats, Mad Cat and Supernova for 228 have taken Overwatch positions on the upper deck. Dr. Killer and Dom and their Annihilators pushing around the low side near the tunnel of the airport.
Meanwhile, 42 does not seem to... They have 2 mechs posted up high here. Let's take a look and see who they are. We've got the Hellbringer and the Nova Cat parked up high here. Take a look at the Nova Cat and see what's loaded on it. I'm very curious.
Yeah, let's take a look at him.
The Nova Cat's 2 PPCs, 5 medium pulse. So it is a long... It can do long range, but this mech has very low weapon mounts. So let's take a look and see where the PPCs are. Oh, he mounted the PPCs on the shoulders, so... The shoulder mount energy points on that Nova Cat's actually pretty high.
Yeah, they're pretty even with the cockpit, aren't they?
They are, yeah. But no jump jets, so can't really do any jump sniping. Harad and the Nova Cat's just stepping into Epsilon, getting a more commandable cap on that point. Meanwhile, we do have two of the smoke of the
42
of the Swamp Foxes there, going up against Brad, or probably 2 of the Swamp Foxes going up against. Going up against Tolson in the Firestarter.
Yeah, he'd been threatening Theta for a while there, but now he's in the open water. He's got both Dark Light and Brad looking at him. That is a very dangerous combination. Lurch coming up to give him some support though, but that's 2 lights against 2 crack shot heavies.
So I have to ask, are they trying to do the same thing that Swamp Foxes were trying to do? Are they trying to kite those two? I don't know, I guess not, because they did, Lurch did come in and support Tolson, pushing Dark Light and Brad to the Bone away. Brad to the Bone in the linebacker down to 53%. Definitely got punished there.
Yeah, he's hurt and lost both of his arms. The rest of his armor is yellow just about everywhere. Those lights did do a number on him. Dr. Killer and Dom pushing up in those annihilators, taking a little bit of cover behind the rocks on the other side of the bridge from Theta.
Yeah, we got the Salt sitting in the Gulf 6 area, doing some trade against the Dr. Killer and the Annihilator.
It looks like Darklight has gotten caught out by himself. Oh, he's going to return to the group. It looked like the enemy mechs were closer to him than I thought, but he's still taking a little bit of fire as he retreats back to his team.
Meanwhile, 2 lights, the Mistlinks with Night Fox and Nita Pickle's Wolfhound, they snuck around behind to take the Sigma cap point. Looks like 228 might be doing some cap game here.
Iron Kilo and Sherrod working those mechs in the high ground of the airport. Iron Kilo getting hit by a big strike. I want to take a look at his health here. Down to 83%.
Bandit and his Mad Cat, 44%. He's been cut in half. He's got the DACA, so he's gonna be down to 1 UAC 5, 1 UAC 10. Wargnome and the Marauder 2C. That'll be a laser vomit Marauder.
42 moving the majority. I'm not sorry. 228 moving the majority of their mechs towards the garden area, while 42 takes up spots in the lower city by the Citadel.
228 has done something rather brilliant here. They have corralled 42 inside the city. Golf 8, Fox 8, Golf 7, Fox 7. So 228 has denied them the rest of the map by spreading out basically down the 6 line, down the Theta line there. They've spread out their mechs to try to keep them in that low ground where they don't really have 42 doesn't really have anything to do there. They have Gamma up top, which Tolson's trying to take, but that's about it.
There are a lot of buildings there. It's hard to get lines, especially onto some of the more open areas of the gardens and upper city there. It's just been kind of a rotation going around. 42 grabbing cap points as they reach them. But 228 still having a 3 cap point advantage at this point. Almost 20 or almost double the resource points needed.
Yeah, 228 taking their time, sitting in the garden, watching for points. Meanwhile, 42 trying to figure out where they can hit him from.
And the first death.
Pardon me. Brad of the Bone in that highly damaged linebacker takes down the Hellbringer.
Nice strike coming in, getting Harad in that Nova Cat. Bandit dropping down into the tunnel. He must be in really bad shape. He is. He's down to 38%, 39%. Like I said, you have to be pretty damaged to drop down in the tunnel because you can't really provide a whole lot of help for your team there. Airstrike just barely missing Wargnome.
Yep, 228 pushing in. They're basically putting 42 into a smaller and smaller box.
Yeah.
Bandit down to 32%. He's got no weapons left. Tolson the Firestarter 48%. But this looks to be 228's game here. We got Wargnome and Subwoofer down. The rest of their team some of them are severely damaged. Bandit goes down by Darklight. All of 228 is there, and they're still fine. Darklight taking the top of the Citadel with the Summoner, able to have shots for days there with where they've corralled 42 into. That Citadel spot where Darklight is, it's a really nice position for PPC Pop-Tarting here.
He's actually still in pretty decent shape too, considering what he went through. He's got both of his PPCs. He's lost an arm. He's about to lose the other one. His armor's red, but I want to get inside his mech actually. Take a look from Carry Power 10's view.
New target acquired.
Crack shot with those dual peeps.
New target acquired. Heat level critical.
So 42 snuck out a light to try to get some caps, but Night Fox and Nita Pickle, moving together, went and challenged the light that tried to go to Sigma to decap it. They got the decap, but didn't. But unfortunately, the 228 folks did show up there before they were able to flip it in 42's favor.
Harad taking quite a beating here. First taking those PPCs from Darklight. Now he's got Iron Kilo moving up on him. Lurch just went down. Self-destruction. And I think Iron Kilo overheated. That could have been very dangerous for him. Lucky for him, none of the 42 mechs were looking at him. Only 3 left standing now for 42. Make that 2 with Prometheus dying. Night Fox getting a late kill in there, and Harad down to just 20%. But Harad lives.
Harad lives. That was a cap win by 228. Harad's down to 26%. 228. All of their mechs are still standing.
What mech was Harad in? Is Novacat an assault?
Novacat's a heavy.
That's a heavy. So then 228 got 7 kills. They killed all of the assaults.
Yeah.
42 did not get a single kill there that round. So that's going to be all she wrote.
Absolutely. Looking at the damage numbers, you can see Darklight and that summoner, 850 damage. Just again, he was from the top of the Citadel. He was able to, find targets all over the place, and it was relatively easy for him. Looking at 42 side, they definitely did damage, but unfortunately, they weren't able to eke out a kill.
Novacat's an assault.
Novacat.
I'm seeing a Marauder. I'm seeing a Marauder 2C, 2 Madcat 2Bs.
And a Highlander 2C.
Oh, it's a Highlander. Okay. All right.
The Highlander, 2 Mad Cats, and the Marauder 2C are their assaults.
So the 228 Swamp Foxes have worked out their first win of this MRBC season, taking it 3 drops to 2, 1,200 rep points to 800 rep points for 42. 42, of course, getting their first 2 drop wins of the season. Very well played by both teams. Nutty and I, do you want to look at the replay real quick, or?
We can. I mean, the biggest thing that I want to point out is the control that.
Oh, let's go to the map. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go to the map for a second before we go to the replay, because I have to shout out the patience for 228 here. They had their mech set up kind of in the high ground, and then 42 pushed in like this. So then 228 basically went from here to here. So we had 42 kind of lumped up in there, and 228 just did this, and then they kind of pushed, they kind of made 42 go this way, and 228 just kept on swinging in like this, and they just closed them into a kind of a close, a smaller kill box.
Yeah. Yeah, it was another really good play by them. So, I mean, out of these 5 drops, 228 pulling off 2 really good plays, really cool plays, and 1 textbook play to ensure that they win the match. But yeah, very good overview there. I mean, it kind of 42 was able to sneak the guys out, get them into was that Gulf 6 towards the end there, but by that point it was too late. They were the last 2 alive, and it was easy mop-up duty for the 228 guys at that point.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. And then like really the kind of the game changer was we had Darklight right there.
Yeah.
Darklight was right there, and basically he had, let me just do this. So Darklight was there, and there were targets all in there for him. I mean, sure, some of them were behind buildings, but that Citadel, being on top of the Citadel, that's a high point. You can shoot over most of those buildings, and at least get some kind of vision as to where they are. And it was just well executed.
Yeah, I'm at the part where we're looking at Darklight right now in the stream. Go to the replay. We were viewing through Darklight. He's just an absolute crack shot with those dual peeps. Oh, see here. Okay, yeah, the guys are starting to show up in the MRBC TeamSpeak here. We're gonna wait for somebody from the 228 to show up, and then we'll start the chat. But yeah, just I mean, we're seeing that play just like you called it right there, crowning them in that box. 228 had great lines from across the water there, kind of in the open a little bit, but at that point with 3 of them down, Lurch just died right there. There wasn't quite as much firepower coming back to really pose a threat to him.
Yeah, you can see that, you know, it looks like 42, maybe perhaps too late, did try to, I'm looking at the live, kind of the live view there. You know, 42 did try to make a push back out, but when you look at the state of their mechs, right, they had 4 mechs that they pushed out. They just lost the one, and then the second one, but they were all in the red. They were missing limbs, they were missing weapons. You know, they were missing everything at that point.
Yeah, yeah, it was a good one. Well, I'll tell you what, we're starting to get people on TeamSpeak. Nutty, why don't I mute up here and meet you over on TeamSpeak so we can talk to these guys.
All right, sounds good.
Sound resumed. Microphone muted. Microphone activated.
All right, get TeamSpeak up.
All right.
On the right.
I'm here, RJ. Are you here?
I'm here.
Excellent.
We don't have Iron Kilo yet. Someone should poke him while I get the overlays set up.
I will do that right now.
Hey guys, thanks for doing the cast tonight.
Hey, it's our pleasure.
Yeah, it's what we like to do it.
Congratulations on your drops. They were really exciting to watch, really exciting to cast.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun playing them, that's for sure.
And I'll say, and I know it's been a tough season for you guys, but congratulations on the first couple wins for your group. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it feels good. It's a change of pace. We've been working hard for these couple. We had some time to prep, so yeah, it was good to come away with a couple wins here.
Right on, and there's Iron Kilo. Iron Kilo, good evening.
Hey.
Congratulations, well done. Those matches were really great to watch. On the edge of our seats for some of them.
Yeah.
RJ's just getting set up right now, and then we'll ask you guys a couple of questions because there's a few.
Yeah, we definitely have a few questions here. Let's see, Ruble Oasis Domination. Let's get that pulled up. Oh, hello, user. Oh, it's Dom. What's going on, Dom?
You said two, so.
Oh yeah, you can bring her over. In fact, Vidya, if you want to bring someone else over from 42, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, let me see who's up for it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, like I'm gonna mirror what Nutty said there. First, great match tonight, guys. That's exactly what the viewers like to see, a close match like that. I know, I'm sure, as I like when I'm taking a team in an MRBC match, I'm sure you guys would both like to have seen a blowout for your team against the other team. But regardless, that was a good match to cast and a very fun match for the viewers, I'm sure. So well done by both you guys.
Yeah, like you said, thanks for the cast. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. We appreciate it too. Yep.
All right, so I got on the cast right now. You guys can't see it yet, but on the cast right now, I've got the TeamSpeak overlay pulled up. I've got a little mini map of Ruble pulled up. Iron,
Ruble.
Yeah, Ruble, drop 1, because I mean normally we don't spend a whole lot of time talking about drop 1, but what happened today on drop 1, when you sent that lance over to Fox 6, you went around the long way, and then you went into Fox 6. There was 4 of you there, and then 42 made the push on you guys. I thought it was all over for you guys there, because I saw the entire 42 team head into a lance of 4, and I was just like, oh no, this is going to end so badly. But quite the opposite happened. You guys came away with a really solid win on that. Was that move by that lance into Fox 6, was that pre-planned, or was that something you did on the fly?
It wasn't planned at all. It was all on the fly. Our goal was actually to get in the circle first and then kind of just set up and tell Dark Light, just win your trades. I don't care who you're fighting against, just win your trades. That's all we taught him. Carry power 10.
Right?
And then, carry power 10.
And so then I just said, Dark Light, just train on that side. And then we're like, oh, these guys are in the circle. We can't do anything. And they have the timer. Like, shit, okay, what are we going to do? Oh, sorry. So I'm like, well, let's see what we can do and get another flank on them, right? So luckily, we saw one mech in Fox 6 wrapped around low ground. Hope they didn't see us. And just set up there and see what was happening. Again, Dark Light's like, I'm training against 3 mechs. I'm like, that's fine, Dark Light. Are you winning the trades? Yeah, sort of. Okay, keep doing it. And then I just said, everybody, airstrikes right now. Like, all we did is for the first, instead of like rushing and just like trying to get it done, or like throw your airstrikes out, make sure you use all those things up, and then let's see what happens. Luckily, again, 42 kind of pushed into us, got closer a bit to us. What was it? Yeah, they just kind of got closer to us. So we're like, okay, well, this is gonna be bad, because they got a bunch of trade mechs, and we just said go, and that's what we did. Mediums push, lights push, and go.
Answers the question for me. What Bandit and Jack Games.
Fire. The Hunchback was the first one. Go from there.
Oh, sorry, I forgot I pushed the talk on here. I was talking to you guys the whole time. So Bandit, Jack Games. When you guys made that push into Iron's Lance of 4 over there, what was the thinking in your head? Was it going to be an easy push the full team, take out a quick lance, and hopefully take them down half a team?
I think this is one we want to get back. If we could play it again, we'd play it a little harder. Our initial movement set up good. We got the ticks. We got a couple of seconds on the clock. We set up where we wanted to, and then we had some hesitation. That's all it was. Just a little bit of hesitation to push on that team. We knew they were there. We thought it was actually like 6 mechs. We didn't know it was only 4. And our original game plan was to hang back because we had that time. So I think that hesitation cost us, because once they jumped us, we were still in their Overwatch, and we couldn't push through them. So they just beat us.
Well, it was Iron. That was a really cool play. It was fun to watch, and that was a point I wanted to make sure I asked you about after the matches were done tonight.
Yeah, just to add on to that, one thing we realized, it's too much range on drop 1. We already had learned that if an opponent brings too much range on drop 1, you bring in enough brawl mechs, and if you can get them right into them, you're gonna win with the fight, no matter how many mechs overall you have. I mean, you can do a 4 on 6 pretty easily. Just make sure you get in there, focus fire, and blow stuff up, because people, when they're getting hit in the face with SRMs, they tend to shoot away, not shoot anymore, and face and try to torso twist. So, yeah.
In my mind, there could have gone 2 ways, and we got caught in the middle of 2 ways, basically. The original way we practiced it, and what we were going to do is do King of the Hill. We were going to hold the place that we were at and not leave that, make them come into us, and I think that would have given us a lot of extra run-up time, and in all of our practices it was actually working fairly well. We were able to really put together some good kill boxes and stuff like that, but we got caught with our pants down kind of halfway. I was on the right side. I spotted the crew coming. We knew they were there way before they even got there, and then we had 2 options. We could either act on it immediately and try and wipe out that squad while the rest of them are off on the other side of the map, which I know that's something that Vigil really wanted to do. The other option was to continue holding the top, which I had an issue with personally, because we were losing trades to Gauss mech. So then you can go back to the mech lab. We didn't have a mech that could reliably trade against Gauss, and so we're sitting there. Yes, we're where we want to be, but we don't have the mechs that can actually put Dark down like we needed. If we were able to suppress him, I think it would have been a completely different game. And if we forced that side crew to come into us, I think we would have been able to do significantly better. So instead, what we did is kind of run up to that crew on the right side in a half-assed fashion, and then got jumped predictably, and then annihilated. And we had people dropping off. It was really just all around. Did not turn out the way that we had done it several times in practices against even teams like Smoke Adders and stuff like that, where we were able to put together wins with that strat. We just didn't execute properly, and then of course having a longer range mech would have been better too.
Yeah, props to the Dark for just messing us up in the face with those Goss. That was hard to deal with it.
Yeah, really MVP for him, because if he wasn't able to do that, I think that would have been turned out way differently.
Yep. Somebody in chat said it was like, you know, you're trading 30 damage for 2 points of scratch. It was not fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that wrecked hunchback before the fight even started.
Yeah.
That helped us a lot, being able to bring that down quick.
And the longer that we delayed pushing the team on the right, the longer that guy continued pelting us with Goss too.
Oh, that's why I said Dark Light carry power 10. You put him in a long range mech, whether it's dual peeps, gauze, ER larges, and if you leave him alone and don't really have anything to respond to him, he will make an entire enemy team pay for it. He's just damn good with those shots. All right, now, do you have any more questions for him on drop 1?
Not for drop 1, no.
All right, let's flip the map and go to drop 2. I'll find it here. I'll let you start with this one, Nutty.
All right, so drop 2. I'm drawing a blank here.
Terra Therma, right?
Yeah, Terra. Yeah. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
I went and tried to break down the PGI doors, but they were closed and they wouldn't let me in. So 42, when kind of in that drop, you guys split your team up quite a bit, like quite a lot actually. More than what I was expecting to see, because you guys went into Golf 6, in towards Theta, 228. You guys got the cap. You got that. Pickle got a really good cap on Theta, but really it was Golf 8, Fox 8, with kind of you guys on either side of each other. When you had Pickle kind of poking at you. Did you know that there was more than just him? Like, did you know that was going to be a good chunk of the team? Did you have visibility on that other side?
Yeah, this was actually, I drop called this one. We sent Subwoofer up in his Archita ECM for that early peak up on that. I call it like the the breach line. Basically, there's a line between Gulf 7 and Hotel 8 that both teams can pretty much get there about the same time. So if they were going to rush us on that side, which has happened in scrims, we would know it's coming because we would have our fast mech up there to scout it out. His job was to present himself and count the mechs and tell us what was there. So we knew every single mech that was over there, except for a bushwhacker. I mean, there was a little bit heavier force than we had called, but he gave us a really good picture of what was there in that choke point. I kind of figured going into it that 99% of the time there'll be mechs in that choke somehow. Because sending an entire team Fox 7, it just doesn't really work. You don't see it all that often unless maybe it's a hard brawl or something like that. So we knew stuff was there. The rest of us, the brawl team, stayed back. We did not want to be seen. If they decided to push over on Subwoofer to try and take him out, we were going to get a gank on that light. But we waited a little bit, allowed our range team to set up Golf 6, set up their line, start trading it in. And based on what I saw on the stream, it looked like they were trading relatively well. 4 mechs to 3, I think, on that Fox 7 side. And then I made the call to breach. We went over, and we knew the streak mech was there, so we focused him down first and then started going in bushwhacker legs. And I was really happy with how the focus fire went and just how we pushed through. And I'm sitting there calling for the range team to push across. They continued suppressing the, I guess, Fox 7 team as they moved across, and they showed up right in the nick of time to bail us out, and it worked out really well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we kind of noticed that when you did the initial push, kind of onto the Fox 8 side, that there was that you were focusing other targets, and then all of a sudden your entire group snapped to the Huntsman, like almost immediately. And I have a feeling that was probably when the call was made to take out the streak boat.
I believe that was you, Dom. Did you feel that when that happened?
Oh yeah. Well, I made a very big mistake there. Unfortunately, we didn't see that push until it was already around that Gulf 8 corner. So, my knee-jerk reaction was, uh-oh, something's pushing my light, I need to go help him, because that was my job in that position. But, so I started moving towards him, and that was the wrong move. Had I just stayed back behind my bushwhackers, I probably could have gotten off at least 6 more volleys of streaks, taken out a Mistlinks or a Cheetah or something, and we might have even been able to turn that whole game around, but... yeah, they just caught us off guard, and we were not ready for such a strong push around that side.
Yeah, I think our intel was a little too late getting the intel.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we were hiding too, because if we showed like a Phoenix Hawk on that side, I think you guys would have played that a bit differently, so we only wanted you to see the Cheetah.
Yeah, we just tried to make a strong presence in the Theta area to make you guys think a bunch of us were back, and then we knew that that push was going to hopefully catch a team off guard, and if it did, it was going to be effective. It was.
That was my big question for drop 2. You got anything up further there, Nutty?
That's the only one. Everything else seemed to be really kind of like what I would expect in a Terra Therma match. Which I mean, for us, RJ, we've never played that map well.
No,
but
no, never.
But I'll say like that was we at least for us, we've never seen the teams get split up like that, but still use it, have it used effectively.
All right, so let's talk about drop 3, Caustic Valley. You switch the map there for me, Nutty?
Yeah.
All right.
I gotcha.
Now, going into this one, 42, you guys kind of did about what I expected, or at least what I was thinking you guys would do. Probably more of a brawl thing, figure out where they're at, and then just push the direction to go. Iron, Dom, what you guys did on this map is not what I expected, because my team, 228 Death from Above, we scrimmed you guys on this, and the way you played this map against us was completely different than how you played it here. What was your thought process here going in? It looked like you were more of a mid-trade thing instead of a long-range thing like you did against us. What was the thinking going on here?
Well, yeah, it was a control strat. I mean, that's all I like, really. I mean, and do some brawl strat, but our goal was to get, Gamma, Theta, and Epsi, and set up a perimeter and just make them run into us. And the problem is, I think we overall had a good lines. Just what we failed on was the presence of their leftmost, or it would be their rightmost, our leftmost. The threat that they had on our left, I should have shifted my Phoenix Hawks back there sooner, and I believe it would have gone different, because I think we had the lines, we had the overall control. That's one I would like to get back.
Had we been able to screen off the Phoenix Hawk and Assassin, then I think we would have suppressed the other mechs pushing up a lot better. But those light mediums were just on top of me and the Direwolf before we really had a chance to do any damage to him.
Yeah, what we did on this map, and Bandit called this one too and did a great job, was what we wanted to do on Tourmaline, but we weren't able to, was get on that flank and push into you guys hard, and just not give you a chance to have any control or have any movement. And the movement here was much better, much more effective for us, I think.
Yeah, really, first thing I wanted to do is present Gauss to you guys. I wanted to see if you would get comfortable with, okay, well, maybe they're in a trade deck kind of thing. So I was up in the Charlie Lance, popped a few Gauss right off the bat. We were basically poaching up Delta 5 as if you were going to brawl us. As soon as we saw, ER's Gauss coming back at us, then we were like, okay, they're not going to be, SRM pushing into Charlie 6 or something like that. So we had that initial concave, and then we moved our guys up Delta 4 side along the back wall while our mediums went Kappa, kind of held them in the wings. I swung back, met the rest of the group, and then since there's kind of two positions, I figured they'd hang up the Delta 3 Echo 3 wall, or they'd go all the way over like Fox 3, Fox 4, Echo 3, you know, that back southwest corner. So because they were in that back corner, then we decided to cut through the Caldera to close the gap. If they were over on Delta 3 Echo 3, we might have stayed on that outside wall and swung around, but that would just get us killed really bad if we did that. So I saw the Phoenix Hawk was back on my left, like all the way up in Delta 5. So me and a Night Gear were playing really cautiously on the left side as we moved up. He disappeared. So I guess you recalled him at some point, because I didn't see him again until he was cutting all the way back across to Echo 4 as we were coming out of the Caldera. But he had me kind of freaking out a little bit on the left. But the mediums, that's how we planned it, basically, is have them come around the backside and just get you thinking about the fact that there's a guy shooting at you back there. I didn't expect them to necessarily get backcores or anything like that, but they were able to jump in on the Direwolf and buy us enough time to essentially breach over as a team, and we try our best to kind of present all at the same time. And of course, I suffer from the old drop color plague, which is saying, all right, everybody go, and then I hold W and I'm the first out, so I got completely creamed and ended up having to rotate to the back. I was surprised I even was alive at the end of that one, but everybody else presented pretty much at the same side, and I just said, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. We didn't want to let them get any distance on us, so the only time we kind of slowed up, we let our King Crab take point then, since he was the freshest, and we're able to clean it up.
It was definitely a good play on your guys' part. I mean, I talked about my bias going into this one, you know, because I used to lead the 228 Swamp Foxes, and so when you guys won that second one there, I have to admit, you know, coming out of drop 3, I wasn't feeling all too hot. I was getting a little worried for my friends there, but that was a very, very good play on your guys' part. Now, do you got anything for him?
No, the big one is really going to be Tourmaline.
Yeah. I'll let you start with this one then.
Tourmaline Desert 42. You guys didn't even get a chance, get us a chance to introduce your mechs, because as soon as you dropped, you kind of did that push right over the Alpha Lance. I guess you stacked your heaviest mechs, and Bravo Lance you did your fastest mechs, and you just kind of pushed yourselves like kind of bullied 228 basically all the way back into the Charlie line. Did that go the way you wanted to? I mean, obviously the end result wasn't there, but kind of what was the initial plan?
No, you know, the plan never survives first contact with the enemy, and that's what happened here. We scrimmed this, I don't know, 4 times, and every time it worked beautifully. We knew teams would set up in the back. We never played a team that actually did that, so that kind of maybe hurt our ability to adapt to it. But our timing was off, and we had a couple guys switch in, so it really, you know, it's hard when you're playing with people who haven't run it with you, and the rest of the teams run it like 3 or 4 times, to really have that clean sort of go of it. But once we got into Delta 5, and the light team was sort of hanging up a bit, they had a mech they were dealing with, that made us pause, and then when that timing was thrown off, you know, we just had the last ditch to just push up to Charlie 5 and get what we could get. And we had nothing, we had no answer for the guys who were up in the spires there in Charlie 5, the Summoner, and the guys who were getting back shots the whole time. So I think if we had the intel a little earlier, we would have played a backstrat, taken the caps, and maybe kept the stage area. But that's all hindsight. It's not something we were planning for. So yeah, it was just well played by 228. Again, we just got beat here. We just didn't adapt to the situation well enough, and a big part. I was calling this drop, and I just, by the time I was in the thick of it, we couldn't go back, and it didn't work out too well for us.
Iron and Dom, the way you guys, the way Swamp Foxes responded to that immediate push from 42. Nutty and I said it kind of even became a meme in the Twitch chat for a minute there. That was just a textbook play by you guys and how to respond to that immediate push like that. What was going through your mind when that started to happen?
Well, pre-drop, I saw they were Alpha Bravo, and I was like, all right, summoners, I need one of you guys to jump up real effing high and let me know what's coming. So as soon as we got that brawl, that I poked out, and then as soon as we got that brawl strat that they were pushing over, I was like, okay, Dom, I didn't even have to call it. Dom's like, okay, get back. So we went back and we set up. And we knew that we would have the advantage there because we'd have a lot of space. My concern was they were going to go for caps and to just take control after that, map control, because we were giving it up. But instead, they tried to push us with their lights on the left side, left them out to dry for a bit, and then we definitely capitalized on that. And then once they tried to push in, it was just a little too late already.
Oh, it looked phenomenal on the stream there. It was, I mean, because like I said, going into that drop, I was starting to get really worried about you guys. What I'd seen from the previous 2 drops wasn't what I expected, and then right there in Tourmaline, that was the Swamp Foxes I remembered from so many scrims of, you handing us our asses on the silver platter. It looked really good. You got anything else there, Nutty?
No, that was the only question that I had for Tourmaline. Again, it was just I was shocked to see the effectiveness of the brawl because, and mainly because, I mean, I guess it's just because I'm not Div A by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm always used to seeing these kind of brawls just fall apart. Right? I'm used to seeing these kind of brawl pushes on this map fall apart, and this one actually pushed all the way back into the Charlie, and it was great. It was a great one to watch.
Yeah, I liked it. It.
It's the lights. Those 42 light pack does a good job of flanking.
I was watching that too.
We did a better job of screening this time.
Yeah.
And that's one thing we remembered. Like we were like
once.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well then that takes us into drop 5, River City. Flip the map here for the viewers. Oh, you already got it. Cool.
I got you.
I'll let you start here too if you want to, Nutty, because you had a really good analysis of it that I thoroughly enjoyed there. So why don't you go ahead and start this one?
So at what point, and I'm asking this to Iron and Dom, at what point did you know to kind of flip your team to kind of basically pull map control and corral 42 in the city?
At one point, when they dropped into the water, I think that was the point. Like we knew that already. It's like once you drop into the water, you only have 2 options, right? You either come straight over Theta or you go back over Citadel. So we were like, okay, we had practiced it so many times too. Lots of yelling from then to now, mostly by me. We had already, like, we knew they only had 2 options from there, and we already know we'd already been beating them up from range, so we expected different mechs, but definitely once they did that, we pushed back. We kited, we rotated.
Yeah, especially when you put dark light up on the Citadel, and the rest of the team would just, like I said, just drop down the 6 line. So 42, did you feel that pressure to have to move towards airport?
No.
Kind of
we just played that not at all how we wanted to. We played this map, I think, week 2, Ben? I don't even remember when it was, but we ended up doing the same damn thing we did then, which we knew didn't work, and we knew it wasn't going to work here, but...
It is funny that we've been Team 2 every single match so far, by the way.
Yeah, same here too.
We've
been
never
Team
seen
1.
the Team 1 side.
Our original plan was to sit Fox 5, Echo 5, and that's how we practiced it, and we had that down. I mean, we were expecting, spaceport. We knew what movements they could make. We had practiced taking and overwatching Theta. Like, we felt really prepared for this. I think our strategy was good, and then for some reason we just did the same freaking thing that we did 3 weeks ago.
Our drop caller called it.
Yeah, but it's not even his fault, because everybody was giving him the intel that Gulf 7 was the area that we could get 2 mechs, and we thought we would jump your summoner and the linebacker. I think we just got bloodlust. You guys just baited us really well, and we just fell into same.
I don't
old
think we've
habits.
ever had a Golf 6 to Golf 7 actually work.
No, we
Not-
know this.
It's not good. No.
And honestly, I mean, of all the MRBC casts that I've done, all the matches that I played in, all the casts I've seen, you do Bandit in the past. I don't know that I've really ever seen a golf line push work unless both teams were running straight brawl. At that point, just one out brawls the other.
I do think this map is a little bit Team 1 balanced, though. Unfortunately, like they got spaceport and they can always arrive to Theta before us unless we take like a commando or something like that. That's just rough because even if we get to Theta, watching Theta from spaceport way easier than watching Theta from Fox 5. Just on an all-encompassing, basically. It just seems like Team 1 has a lot of options. So the only thing you can really do in my mind in Team 2 is either out-trade them or try to bait them into a movement and then respond to it appropriately. Chasing them around, like a kid's soccer team or something, though, is never going to get you results.
No, it worked out for 228 on that one. But I mean, it was still, for both teams, it was a great game. 42, you guys got your first 2 drop wins of the season. Swamp Foxes, you finally won a match. I mean, there's good things to take away for both teams from this. You guys both played a really good match tonight. It was a lot of fun to cast. So.
I think we're both very fantastic Division B teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. I mean, that's probably not a debate we should have while casting on MRBC League, but that was surprising to see. Well, it was surprising to see Swamp Foxes in Div A at the start of the season. 42, I wasn't totally aware of. I know you guys skipped MRBC season 9. I wasn't sure what would happen there, but it was a little surprising, I guess. So.
As the guy who had to make the decisions the last couple seasons as to who's in what division, or at least played a big part in making that decision, I understand that they got to do what they got to do to make things work. Because even if they did like 4-team divisions, then you've got like a division of 2 or something at the end. So they have to shuffle things around, and sometimes teams get screwed, and it sucks because you feel guilty when you have to put somebody in there. But the way I see it, I have no complaints about being in Div A personally, because you get better by playing better teams. And yes, it can be demoralizing a bit. You just have to go into it with the right mindset, though. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, yeah, I'm in Division A. No, I'm playing some of the best teams in the game, getting my ass kicked, but at least I'm learning from it.
I brought that up at the beginning of the match, because we looked at the current division standings. Both your teams sitting down there at the bottom, but I was like, you got to look at the other teams that are in this division. I mean, this is the toughest division in all of MRBC right here, especially with both Dropship 5 and 228 Blackwatch in the division. So while you guys may be skirting the bottom of the division, what the teams that you're going up against are some of the best in all of MWO, and that's a really, really hard thing to go up against week after week.
Bottom line, though, we're still having fun doing it, though.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, we're excited about it, and we're happy to be in Div A. We want the challenge. We're hungry. I mean, I've been with some of these guys since we were in Div E 3 seasons ago. So I mean, we've jumped from Div E to Div C, and now we're Div A. So it's been fun and real, and we're, like I said, we almost got into the top 12 in Worlds last year, and we're looking for it this year. We're hungry.
Well, Nutty, you got anything more for him?
That's it. That's the only play I really needed to know about, was that River City play, because it was just so great to watch.
Yeah, we did do a focus on Darklight, carry power 10 in that one when he was on top of the Citadel, just wailing away with those PPCs. I'm not sure how many memes we've created tonight, but there's definitely a few.
Darklight's a great guy too, and he's humble. My challenge for him always is you need to do 1,000 damage a game, otherwise you can't retire. So that's why.
Well, right on, gentlemen. Again, great matches tonight. Appreciate you coming to talk to us.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to add that Dr. Killer is getting much better.
Nice.
A lot of improvement there.
Yeah, good games, guys.
Yeah, GG's.
Good
Thanks for the
games,
cats,
Spence.
guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Not a problem. You guys all have a great night.
Good night.
Sound muted.
All right, Nutty, I'm back with you on Discord.
Yeah, I'm here. What a cast! What a drop! What a drop tonight! 228 Swamp Foxes versus 42. The answer. Swamp Foxes taking the victory, 3 drops to 2. 42 getting their first 2 drop wins of the season, like RJ mentioned. The Swamp Foxes also picking up their first drop win of the season. So it's a lot of firsts here tonight, which are fantastic. And if people are playing the drinking game, there's probably a lot of really drunk people.
Oh yeah.
Or really caffeinated people. Especially if Silken's drinking caffeinated tea, then yeah, that's pots and pots of tea that I'm sure Silken's drank tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Nutty, we got one more thing we have to do before we leave for the night. We gotta do some
singing again, am I?
No.
Okay, good.
It's super awesome giveaway time.
I like giveaways. Giving away things is always good.
Giving away things is always good. All right, I hope you guys were all talking. All right, I'm going to remove a couple names here. We're going to get rid of Moobot. I've seen Moobot win before. It is not pretty. And
I don't think Moobot can use the codes.
No, I don't think Moobot cares to use the codes. We're going to get rid of Nutty here, and then we're going to get rid of me. All right. First giveaway is going to be for a mech bay.
Mech bays are useful.
They are
crazy. Every time they go on sale, I buy at least like 10 or 20.
All right, we're spinning. Who's going to be our first winner of the night?
Not Silken.
Not Silken.
I'm kidding, Silken.
Shinjo? T-Z-I-N-J-O? Shinjo? Is that how you say that? Zinjo?
I don't know. I'd have to go and... trying to pull up the viewer list now. Don't forget, I can't see your screen.
Yeah, I know. I'm,
Zinjo. The T will be silent, most likely.
Yep, I'm going to remove him from the list now. And another thing, if you're a winner, please send me a Twitch Whisper so we can get your code to you. I think I still have to actually put out the codes from last night. I don't think I whispered them last night, Nutty. I got some. I still owe some codes from last night.
Ruh-roh.
But here we go. Now we're gonna give away 1,000 MC. Last giveaway of the night.
That's a big giveaway too. 1,000
Yeah.
MC.
Yeah,
you could buy a sword for your Atlas. For any Solaris fans that are out there.
All right, slowing down. Who's it gonna be? Stomptimus Prime.
Stomptimus, re-roll. Re-roll.
Yeah, that's rigged. That's rigged. All right, I'm going to get his name copied here so we can get his codes to him. I'm going to be sending out a lot of codes tonight. I'm not going to forget tonight.
Don't forget, RJ. RJ, don't forget about codes.
Not going to forget about codes. Can't forget about the codes tonight. All right, kids. Well, that's going to do it for the match tonight. Again, great win there. Close win by 228 Swamp Foxes. Great matches played by both teams. It was a very fun cast to watch. This cast, as well as drop videos from both teams, will be up on the MRBC website at mrbcleague.com relatively soon. You can also, at mrbcleague.com, you can find teams that you maybe want to join to get into some MRBC play. You can, if you're a team captain, you can advertise that your team is looking for pilots. You can get all the current league tables, the schedules coming up of the matches that are getting ready to happen, including those that are going to be casted on Twitch. I mean, the MRBCleague.com is a wealth of information. So make sure you go to it, bookmark it, and visit it daily. Daily. All right, Nutty, thanks for casting with me again tonight. We do.
RJ, it's my pleasure.
We do a couple more casts coming up. We just booked a couple matches for next week. Oh, and before we go, I don't know if I have it on here. I don't, but I'm going to do a little self-promotion here. Coming up on Saturday the 19th, that's 2 Saturdays from now, just a little under 2 weeks, I'm going to be doing a 24-hour charity stream for homeless and abused youth. That's going to be happening on NG TV, as well as my own channel, and on my Mixer channel and my YouTube channel. Again, that's coming up in just under 2 weeks, Saturday, May 19th, 24-hour charity mechathon for homeless and abused youth. So hopefully you can come out and join us for that. And then if I'm still conscious enough, I'm going to be doing a MRBC cast with Mikado Soul on the 20th. We'll see how that goes. That could be interesting. But yeah, no, sorry. Once again, though, thank you for doing the cast with me. And thank you, viewers, for tuning in. I'll get your codes out to you soon. Any last words, Nutty?
And remember, folks, hold locks RJ.
Oh, gosh, dang. That's it. We're done. We're done. Good night, everybody.
We're done. Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.